Welcome back, everybody. We are live.
Good evening, Mega City. Random attacks in the suburbs and a prison break happening right now. What are we talking about? It's Arc 9 Part 1 with the Brockton Bay Book Club.
Let's
featuring your hosts, Alan, Hannah,
Hello,
Jacob,
Hello.
Nick.
Hello there.
And of course, our producer, the man on the keys, Michael.
Hello.
And welcome you all to Brockton Bay Book Club. As per the usual, we are reading through Wildbow's Ward, the sequel to Worm. If this is your first time here, this is essentially a book club, and we just happen to do it live, and other people give their inputs. Speaking of inputs, we of course have our bingo linked in chat if you'd like to play along. And if you'd like to contribute, you should join our Patreon. We talk Ward spoilers outside of this, so no spoilers in chat while we're here. And I think that about covers it. We've got a lot that I think we're going to talk about tonight, so we're going to get into this as quickly as possible.
Yep. Speed round.
Yeah.
A lot of anticipation for this arc. It is the longest arc we have done so far. We have split it into two parts. I think it maxes out at somewhere around 140 plus words. So just this arc is more than your average book. And we had to read half of it for about 70,000 from 9.1 to 9.y.
Those of you who read with us know very well how long it was.
Yes, and a cliffhanger. It sure ended on. But let's go ahead. I'm just going to go ahead and read this off J-Man 1954 Goat. Our J-Man said, skipped a couple of episodes and read Arc 9, begging so I can watch live. Arc 9 is my favorite arc of the story. So excited to make it here. Truitt says, Arc 9, in my opinion, is where Ward picks up. And Tree T says, yeah, this is definitely where the story gets interesting. I know we've been down on it for a little bit. And, you know, I think I was remembering, I think this is where things turn up a notch. And I'm excited to hear your opinions, good or bad, on it. So let's start.
Let's go.
What do we think about it? Hannah, thank you for bringing us. Hannah, what are your thoughts?
This is the first time in, I think, probably all of Ward where I've been like dying to read the next section, where I didn't want to stop reading when I hit 9.y. I was like, oh no, I'm not done. Really good. Some big stuff happened, and I'm very excited to discuss it because I have thoughts. I have so many thoughts.
Jacob?
Yeah. I mean, my typical Ward complaints are still there. I do think the story drags far too much than it should. But that being said, echoing what Hannah said, very, very interesting few chapters. And was a pretty rough cliffhanger. So I am also I finished that 9.y this morning when I woke up and was like, do I have time? I know I can't read. I gotta wait. I can't read more. So it's good. It's good stuff.
Yeah, I agree with you. One day we'll do maybe even a live like editing process of like what we would cut and how we'd reformat this into maybe not even like a show, but a cohesive book. We've talked about that before, but like how we would edit it.
Just thinking, you're talking about like it's like now it's picking up 1 million words in, but we're picking up now. Once you get through the first 1 million,
you just gotta get through the
good.
first
9
you just
have to get through all of that. Nick, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, very similar. I really did enjoy this arc, this first half of the arc. I've got some funny moments that I'll pull out, and I feel like I'm kind of calling a couple of things that I'm pretty happy with. So we'll get there when we get there. I think I may have obviously not 100% perfectly, but I may have called something. In
I'm
this, we'll
excited
get
to
there.
hear it.
We'll get there when we get there.
A broken clock.
It's true.
Yeah, that's
Well, there is that too.
yeah.
Mm.
All right. Well, I also really enjoyed this. I knew that this is where we're going to be picking up. It has one of my, maybe not in the moment favorite fight scenes, but has some of my favorite moments, some of the most memorable moments that I recall from my readings. And Fran also says, just like One Piece, it gets good 70 chapters in.
Yeah, exactly. It's got the One
Wow.
Piece treatment for sure.
It's unfortunate.
All right. Well, let's dive in. Nick, do you have the summaries?
I do indeed. 9.1. Victoria meets with her therapist, visits Natalie in the hospital, and tells her team about Amy and the wretch. A bit of a short one, 9.1, but I really liked this as a bit of character building for Victoria.
Yeah.
And I know I keep speaking of being a broken clock, I know that I keep saying that Victoria is the most concerning member of Team Breakthrough. I feel like this chapter, I made a note and I don't remember exactly why, so forgive me lack of specifics, but I feel like this is more evidence that yes, indeed, she may indeed be the most most concerning member of Team Breakthrough.
Why are you concerned, Nick?
Victoria is the type of person who appears to have everything under wraps on the surface, when in fact she does not at all. And I think that makes her very dangerous because she is perhaps one of the more powerful members of the team in a lot of ways. And I think also thinks that she has her abilities and everything under control. And there's few things more dangerous than a powerful person who is incredibly unstable but thinks they're in control the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the vibe I get from Victoria. The rest of the team, and
Yeah.
obviously we'll get into Tristan and Byron's stuff later. They are also very far concerning in their own ways, but I'm going with the super unreliable narrator mindset that I think Victoria is a problem.
Yeah.
Could be a problem in the future.
I mean, we'll
Along those
touch on that
lines,
towards the end too. But yeah, I mean, it's,
it makes
Yeah.
me think of what we just came from. Why she has to, show off the wretch in the first place is because of the, the TV show drama. It's
Right.
like in a way she's almost like Sveta, where like, if something super triggering should happen, it's a bunch of hands that just randomly go out and clearly can just break bones and, blend people. But Sveta knows how her body works, and she knows if she gets in a certain state, she will bug out. And Victoria maybe doesn't have that awareness because it hasn't happened yet. But the idea that, like, what if she was in the studio, instead of like bursting out with her just like emotional aura, what if she just pushed out with the wretch, people in the crowd getting grabbed and she's like, whoops, my bad. Like, you don't, how did that happen? That's never happened before.
Oh no,
My dog never bites.
I gotta say the cinematic visual of the reveal, beautiful though. Just like in like the rain washing off of the wretch so that it's outlined.
It's
She's
good. It was
grabbing
good.
2x4s and wood. I was like, I could see that moment. It was terrifying.
Yeah. It for some reason, every time I do the rain and the outline thing, my mind just automatically goes to Daredevil the movie.
With the bad movie.
Yeah.
I was gonna say you're
the
gonna have to be
only
more
one-
specific.
The only movie.
Okay. Yeah.
I know you mean.
It's the best Daredevil movie.
Just want to point out for the record that Alan made a movie reference before I did.
And that doesn't count.
Jot that down.
That doesn't count.
It is iconic,
count.
But
as
yeah.
bad as it is, as
Yeah,
J-Man points out.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we got 11 chapters.
There is something in here. Just when she starts talking about her body, and I think it's when she's in the hospital visiting with Natalie, and then immediately afterwards, where she's talking to people, that she just has. There's some wild disassociation going on between
Oh yeah.
Victoria and her, skin suit that she wears and walks around in.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Especially, having just seen that Amy's, alive
And working with criminal mastermind goddess.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely think there's part of Victoria that feels like her body was destroyed, by
Yeah.
Crawler and the attack, and that, she's not in her body anymore, which
Yeah.
is
She's in a
true.
she's in a vessel.
Well, it's the old ship of Theseus thing, right?
Exactly.
And she's mentioned
yeah.
before that her body was remade with non-animal parts. She doesn't even know
Bugs and
how
cats
screwed up
and
her DNA is.
Mm-hmm.
it still gives me bad shivers.
It's
Yeah.
it's not great.
And I think that's what it is, right? It's just the vibe of like that heavy disassociation, the identity crisis. Obviously, not as obviously threatening of a power as somebody like Taylor's, who Amy, warped to turn into total mind control. But it does feel like there's a lot to be concerned about with Victoria.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
Bernard mentions that, and I'll take your word for it, Bernard, that imagery of her in the rain and, the wretch being shown off is the imagery that supposedly made Wild Bow make Glory Girl his protagonist for this story in the first place.
Mm.
Oh, interesting.
Interesting.
That's
Very
cool. That's good to know.
That makes sense.
Appreciate it, Bernard.
Yeah. The contrast with Natalie's family. Natalie has an overbearing mother who cares too much.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think this again reveals that contrast for Victoria, who feels like she doesn't have any of that right now.
Yeah.
So
And Natalie even says something. She's like, yeah, she's not like, I mean, like your mom's
she's not
cool.
awesome like your mom.
She's not awesome like your mom. And Vicky's like, you have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Bernard also asks, is there any vibe that Red Queen's also mind controlled by Goddess? I think it's explicitly mentioned a couple times
later,
that she is not under her control.
Yeah. She's a lieutenant.
Almost wonder if Amy's power gives her some resistance to mind control.
I have a whole thought on
anything.
this. So can we put a pin in it
Yeah,
until
we can-
later?
we
Because
can
I
do
have
it,
a whole
Yeah.
theory about that and some other
Absolutely.
things in connection with that.
All right.
Well, we can hop into 9.2 then.
9.2.
Keep
Let's
things
go.
moving.
Okay, let's do it.
Keep it going.
Victoria thinks of her past, and Tristan gives some information on his power, and Chris annoys the team. Breakthrough meets with Goddess, who is gathering an army, and get mastered.
I don't like that.
You guys gotta stop. You gotta stop meeting with the masters.
Why
Yeah.
are we choosing to do this?
They keep getting baited. They keep getting baited.
That's
That's
true.
true.
That's
Baited
true.
by the
They're
master.
getting
Yeah.
masturbated.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
See,
Whoa,
I
Hannah,
made you say
gross.
it. Whoa.
What do you
Not
mean?
what I
They're
intended
getting
at all.
baited by masters, Alan. Alan, get your mind out of the gutter, okay?
It's fine when
Nick
you
and
say it
I
like
are
that, but
pure
how
of
you
heart
say it,
and clean of mind, okay?
Don't put this on me with your dirty mouth.
What?
Yeah.
Gross.
But seriously,
Yeah.
why? And I
Yeah,
mean, to be fair, I was reading these chapters quickly because it was a lot to get through.
Oh,
But
same,
I
yeah.
was constantly being like, I don't quite get why they chose
Yeah.
to get close to the person they knew was controlling people.
Right.
So
And specifically, hold on, and to tack onto that, why we didn't consult with some other big names to be like, okay, so we know Goddess is in play, and she wants to meet with us, and we have like no time in which to decide whether we're going to meet or not. Can we get some advice in here by Dragon or Valkyrie or literally anyone who understands big powers and may have a better sense of how Goddess's power works. Because, like, they're clearly trying to circumvent things by doing the projections and not meeting in person with her. But, like, you guys.
I think part of the problem, if I recall, is that because Goddess is from a different Earth, there are no records of what she could actually specifically do.
True.
And so we know what she did. We know that she conquered an Earth of her own and that she had a great army and lieutenants and everybody worshipped her. But we don't know how she did that, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And so I think
True.
that was my, I think that was what I said, and I didn't go back and listen to verify, but I'm pretty sure I said something to the effect of Goddess's power is controlling or like taking other people's powers. And that is
Yeah, that
basically
is
what
you
she
said.
does.
Yeah.
So
Well,
that
she
was
takes
my
the
cold
powers,
stop.
but she takes them along with it.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Take your
She
entire
is her power is aura farming basically.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
When you get it right.
Ooh,
Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause-
Sorry, Alan, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say it's you know, they I think the reason that they were doing it was just general information. You know, you've got this super person who's a big player reaching out. So like, okay, you know, we'll talk. We've talked with villains before. We've had meetings with villains before. To see like, hey, essentially we're going to be coming into town. You just need to get out because, you know, and if you don't want to, then we're going to take all your stuff. Like they've had that sort of dialogue with villains before, you know, come to an agreement. So why wouldn't this be any different? But they know she's super powerful. Now, I agree. What they messed up is why the hell didn't they contact other people? I don't know. No clue. However, they thought that 64 miles and a couple holograms would keep them safe because why the hell wouldn't it? They don't know what her power is. They just know they're smart enough to be like, oh yeah, we just don't be there. I think we'll be good. But you know, you don't fuck with somebody called Goddess and get away unscathed. So
Or
Yeah.
And I feel like there's an implication that Goddess made too of like, well, a couple of things. One is they know she's planning something. She has an interest in the prison. So they want to try to figure out what her plans are. And I feel like there's an implication from Goddess of like, if you don't meet with me, then I'm like, you're my enemy, basically. Of like,
Yeah.
okay, well, let's
I
maybe
see on neutral
try to
here.
stay neutral or not become an enemy of a super powerful.
Yeah, and the other people they're investigating are clearly at odds trying to do something with Goddess as well. You know.
Yeah.
But in opposition, and they know that or suspect that.
Yeah. Yeah.
One thing I love about these chapters, and I'll maybe credit Wildbow with more than he was intending, but this is how it came across, so I'm going to give him credit for it. But they're clearly like, all right, you know, best to deal with Goddess's enemies first, and then we'll deal with Goddess. That's kind of their background plan here. But the way it's written really feels like from the POV side, it's we're seeing the master effects play into the writing, where they're already like kind of like Teacher, not they're not conscious that they are not attacking Goddess because she doesn't want them to.
Right.
And this whole arc was so much fun to read from that, because like through the lines you can sort of see already that the master effects are in play, very similar to the miasma bits in
yes,
Worm, right? Where like we know what's going on, but just because of the way POV is written, he does that very, very well.
Yeah.
So fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Anytime the POV with Master Strangers, it's always so interesting. Because you have like Imp just coming into and out of conversations where like people all of a sudden she's just gone and people forget, like, didn't we have somebody else here? Or all of a sudden she's there and everybody freaks out because like, oh yeah, I've been here the whole time. You know, to Nice Guy being in the room and them being like, oh
my
yeah,
God,
I did a quick count and killed the person who was the odd man. Like, oh.
Yeah. we're kind of getting into 9.3 as well, I think. So I can kind of throw that out there if we want to just put the whole
well,
Goddess
Yeah, let's
conversation
just
my
blend
together.
one
them a
thing for
little
the
bit.
end of that, because I think it's the end of. Is it the end of 2 where they get got?
End
Yeah.
of
End of 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
2.
They're
Yeah.
there,
She
and it's like
realizes.
they do the look, and
She
they're like, "Oh
realizes
fuck,
that
we got got."
she knows we're
And
not.
I just put
Yeah.
Bianca, gotcha, bitch.
Yep. Also, I had a very confusing two things too with that. 9.2, there's a Sundancer name drop randomly. And it I
Yes.
had to reread it because the way it was written made me think, wait, is Sundancer with Goddess? Like the
Yeah.
way it was written for a second, I was like, no,
Yeah.
it's just a name drop. Just talking about her
Okay.
power. But it did make me miss those guys. I miss Sundancer and Ballistic and Genesis.
I do
Don't just give me.
too.
I really like the new characters. They've been growing on me a lot. But give me one arc of like, what are the Undersiders up to now? That's all I want.
Yeah, I need
Um,
I need a little imp or a little
Yeah.
tattletale or
And
something.
it does make me think how if you are a goddess and you're literally like mastering people, you own this planet, how absolutely frustrating would it be for this random portal to open and your brain just gets yoinked with all your lieutenants and you're like, wait, no.
my empire.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's crumbling
God.
around me.
It's
Yeah.
because like how would Taylor feel about like if she got yoinked out of Brockton Bay at the height of her warlord? It'd be
Oh,
like,
she'd be fucking pissed.
no.
She'd rip the world down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and for a neighborhood, like
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
woman had a planet and was like barely older than Taylor,
Yeah.
and like
And
ah.
there's a description later of Goddess, but it's relevant here too with this conversation is how she is a spoiled teenager who became the most powerful cape in her planet and ran the
Yeah.
planet and has not grown out of being a spoiled teenager. And if that's not the most horrifying
Yeah.
combination of things,
Truly.
of like, dear Lord.
Oh,
Yeah.
oof.
A couple
9.3?
things in this
Oh, yeah,
before we move on.
9.2, go ahead.
B.
Yep.
Ferroni said they thought that the wild bow scene that inspired Victoria's protagonist was the Arc 1 scene where the wretch is pressing against the glass. Also, very iconic
Yes.
imagery.
Yeah.
remember.
So
us
maybe
talking
that's the
about that,
case.
yeah.
Fran pointed out, and something we'll get into, that Amy was immune to the bone saw miasma. So we'll get
Oh, right.
into
Right.
that a little bit later.
Good
Um,
point.
That's
and
good.
I'll
That
bring up some other
actually
stuff.
ties into my theory for later.
Yeah. There's a couple other things that we'll point out later on when we get to them that I notice are mentioned in chat, but we'll get to those. And
Okay.
then J-Man's Goddess is my favorite depiction of mind control in any media ever. I always thought alignment was a metaphor for propaganda in the real world and how you legit think another person's goals are yours. Which I don't know about it being a metaphor, but I do think it is a very good simile for, comparison.
Definitely.
It's one of the better mind control descriptions that I've seen.
Yeah.
Because most of the time you have mind control and it does kind of operate like the nice guy thing where it's just a complete blank space to the mind control itself. But this
Right,
one,
yeah.
there is breakdowns in the logic of the mind control that can be exploited. And I enjoy that because, like they said, it's not mind control, it's alignment. And that's such a subtle difference that's a world of importance when it comes to how the characters operate.
It's maybe less like propaganda and more like a cult leader, where you begin to believe that what the cult leader wants is what you want as well. Quite literally, the power of a cult of personality, where you're like, oh well, yeah, if Goddess clearly has the best ideas, so whatever she needs, we'll make sure she gets.
Right.
Do we think
And not to
there's
say
a
that propaganda is explicit from that example either.
True.
Yeah. Do we think there's a similarity between between teacher and goddess having either like sister shards essentially from
Maybe
Eden and Scion?
they do seem
they're
sort
very
of to be two
similar,
sides
kind
of
of
the
like
same coin.
inverse of each other a bit.
Yeah.
Like
because one's
teacher
almost
disperses.
giving powers and then taking control of them, and one is taking control of them to be able to use that person.
Yeah.
I do, once again, I'd like to point out that I think thematically, I'm sticking with the theme of Ward is autonomy. And I think
Oh yeah.
teacher and Amy and Goddess are just all in this chapter. Just the whole
Capricorn
thing fits right into there, and we'll get into the how autonomy fits into the Capricorn saga as well, because all of that I feels like
can't wait.
All right, let's keep moving. We've got so
9.3.
Yeah.
9.3.
Yeah, go for it.
We're doing good. We're good.
We're good.
Breakthrough makes plans with Goddess. Amy and Victoria briefly talk. Chris leaves. Capricorn becomes Byron and fights Victoria, making her really aware that she's been seriously mastered.
Oh yeah.
Thanks, Nick.
Hey, I'm just putting the emphasis on whoever wrote these summaries the way I think they want me to read it.
Of course, yeah. No, you're doing a service.
I do find it funny that because it seems like Amy is sort of outside of Goddess's influence, Victoria's alignment with Goddess also does not extend to how Goddess feels about Amy, because it is this like, Goddess, whatever you say, shut the fuck up, Amy.
Yeah.
Yes, guy. You know.
Just, absolutely.
The black and white of that is so interesting to me.
Just constantly, am I gonna have to choke a bitch? Like,
am I gonna come over there and murder you right now?
Yeah, whoa. You gotta work on that emphasis.
Did I pause in the wrong place again? I'm sorry.
You did.
I'm sorry.
Am I gonna come
I'm
over
sorry. There? No, okay,
Chat,
so
clip that.
Michael clip that.
That's okay. Michael,
no, nobody clip that. Nobody clip that.
That's okay.
Sometimes
we'll
I forget that
later,
we're
Michael.
recording. I often forget we're recording. No. Okay, so my point where I completely forgot what I was trying to say. The sense of like spite of like, while Victoria obviously is under the, I don't even want to say thrall because that's teacher's thing, under the influence and alignment of Goddess, like she's still so opposed to Amy, and this spite thing almost of like, even if I wasn't, being mastered, in this moment, fuck you, I'm not doing anything you say ever. Like, what? How do you not get that this is not going? It doesn't matter if you're trying to save my life, you're trying to come in here and be the hero. Fuck you, Amy. Like, I'm not gonna listen to you. I don't trust anything you say. What makes you think I ever would? And like her stupidity, like, I was standing over there when I was listening, because I listen to the audiobook and I'm like over here sewing or typing or whatever I'm doing. I was over there pacing because I was like, this bitch does not get it, and I don't understand how she doesn't get it. Like, is she stupid?
Yes.
Yeah.
In the words of Fran in chat, so just because Amy is working with a dictator and people are calling her the Red Queen and she has an evil goblin minion on her shoulder, so she's the bad guy now?
Now, as opposed to what she used to be, because holy fuck.
Yeah.
And Bernard, whether or not anybody realized that Antarius is influenced by Goddess, I do think that everybody in the room knew that they were influenced by Goddess, because that was just part of the power. Her and Sveta exchange glances and basically give the knowing nod, like, oh yeah, we got God.
Yes, now we are aligned.
Everybody knows that. What they don't know is that Capricorn Blue isn't aligned until he outs himself, and then they're like, which he does almost immediately. However, Natalie has no clue what's going on at all, because she's a normal person and is completely like out of like what's going on here.
Yeah, and she's
Once
not there
again,
for this conversation.
We just have to point out that the most dangerous person in this universe is Coil Sniper. Just gotta say it once more.
Yeah,
Which
Just
I'll
the
give.
civilians.
One of my things is like, I feel like the train has come around. Natalie, after being, an absolute badass in the last chapter, the unpowered
sure.
person taking on, the thugs and the superpowered thugs, in a home invasion scenario, and getting stabbed a pretty wicked scar for it.
Mhm.
And still keeps fighting like a champ. Then walks in and is like, I'm in a room of people who could maybe kill me. What the hell is going on? And then like kind of realizing like, you know what? We just got to go with it. And she becomes the rock. The like, hey,
Yeah.
if everything goes south, just listen to whatever Natalie tells you. I'm like, you're damn right. You should have always listened to what Natalie told you.
Pretty much.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah, fair.
I feel like the star is rising in her corner.
Yeah. Yeah, and I do love the moment. I think I was catching on that something was going on with Goddess and them controlling them. Like everybody was way too agreeable with Goddess.
Yeah.
Especially
Mhm.
Chris of all people being so agreeable. I was like,
Oh yeah,
"This
yeah.
is
Mhm.
weird." And so when Byron pops out, and I imagine Tristan's doing this whole like, Byron, just a little bit more time. And then the
Yeah.
switch, and Byron's immediately like,
Like,
just like, oh.
I love it's just the guns, like
Yeah,
superpower guns out at everybody. Now, Byron, let's not do anything. It's like, let's not do anything. Y'all are crazy.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
And
so
then just
kind of
much.
has-
the whisper of like Master Stranger, and Victoria's
Yeah.
like, oh.
Like
yeah.
I feel like we need some sort of, and I'm sure like computers can get hacked, but we need a non-hackable computer algorithm that can read the room and just like makes this giant neon light on the wall, just like blinking, flashing neon, Master Stranger. Like I don't remember what episode it is, but like in Doctor Who, where like you look down, all of a sudden you have these like hash marks on your arm, and you're like, whoa, where did those come from? And then you like look away and you forget, and you look back down, and now both arms are just covered in hash marks. And then you turn the corner and you look in a mirror, and every inch of your skin is covered in hash marks because you keep forgetting that you're supposed to know and remember. And like when you remember, you write it, you do a hash mark on your arm, and then you forget because you looked away. And I'm like, okay, we need a system to better alert us to Master Stranger. Like, why didn't we have something in effect for this scenario?
Again, I don't think they were expecting a Master Stranger. I think they were expecting super powerful, but not.
Yeah.
She
Not
took over
Master
a planet.
Stranger.
Well, yeah, but we didn't know how. We were assuming, I guess, like a la Superman style, where
No.
you're just the
Well,
biggest,
I
baddest.
think part of
No.
what confuses it, right, is that she had an army of parahuman lieutenants, and so you're
That's
thinking,
true, I guess, but
well, surely she didn't mind control everybody. She must have just been
okay.
hot.
But
I don't know.
we all
I was thinking that she
who
just
have
had a
less
pyramid scheme
information
of
than these
powers.
people.
Yeah.
We have
That's true,
less
the pyramid.
information than them, and we were all like, yeah, it's mind control.
There's a
Like,
yeah, that reminds me of like turning the pyramid scheme of powers. There's a fantasy series that's coming out called The Will of the Many. First book came out, really interesting. Next book's coming out in November. But the concept
wanna
is you
read that.
give your will to people, and that's what gives you like powers eventually. It's literally just a pyramid scheme. Like now I'm at the top, but if you can get 10 people to cede some of their will to you, and you cede that will to me, then we'll all be
Exactly.
more powerful, And it's I can see that being with Goddess, like, no, you guys give me a little bit of your powers, but you go out and convince other parahumans to also give me some of their powers.
Right.
And then you too can drive a pink Kia.
Yeah.
exactly.
as Fran
Pink
does-
Kia.
As Fran points out, her power only works on parahumans. So if you
Yeah,
ask
right.
any average
Right.
citizen on that planet, they probably don't even know that she has mind control.
True.
We also don't know.
It's
we
such
know
a
the
subtle
percentage?
power.
Right.
Yeah.
Like she just, why
Yeah.
did you decide to work with her? I mean, she's
seemed
the
like the
most
right thing to do
powerful
at the time.
hero.
Yeah, it seemed like the
and
right
you're like-
thing to do. We aligned.
Or,
all of our
you know-
values align.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Bernard
think-
says,
I
isn't
think-
that just the Yongbon? Like, no, that's communist powers.
Yeah.
It's
different.
communism. It's different.
I think you nailed it with the nice guy comparison. It is very similar to where it's like it's not mind control. It's just like, oh yeah, that's the nice guy. Well, yeah, we know him. He's chill as hell. He wouldn't do
Yeah.
anything wrong. You know. Yeah.
Except
He would
nice
never.
guy, like if you saw on camera nice guy, you could explain what was going on.
Right.
If you saw on camera goddess, and then she was a little bit clever about it, you could essentially chalk it up to her being convincing and super strong as to why she like got certain people onto her team.
Yeah.
And she has other powers too, right? She's got
we know
danger sense, she's got
yeah.
telepathy.
Yeah, she got.
She's
Yeah,
got
Yep.
exactly.
So it wouldn't even have to be like it would be the Superman thing where it's like, well, maybe she's just the most powerful, like, you know?
Yeah.
I'm curious. I
Yeah.
wonder
Maybe she's
if,
right.
and maybe I'm assuming we'll get
yeah.
into it because I'm wondering if she has the ability to hold on to certain powers she takes like permanently,
I think so.
maybe
I
by killing them or something. I don't know, but
Well, that's what I was wondering, right? Because she talked about how there's a girl who's taken one of my powers, and I want to get her back so I can get the power back.
yeah,
It makes me
Yes.
wonder if it's not only that alignment, but maybe it is again like the opposite of teacher. Like the longer you're around her, she takes some of your power away slowly over time.
yeah, something
But
like
you
that.
can take it back from
Yeah.
her if you break free of her control somehow.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Something like that. I
We
don't know.
do know that she
You
is
don't really know though.
a cluster trigger.
Yeah,
So
we do know
Right, we
that
do.
as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's
Ooh,
like
that's
what
true.
if you cluster triggered but everybody had god tier powers?
yeah.
Right.
So
Jesus.
like
Although maybe then it's more like the person who stole the power from her is a member of her cluster, and it's more like how Rain said, they take turns like getting chips from the sky. Maybe they have their own dream world, but she was like, "No, I've gotten all the powers." And then in that dream world, somebody stole one for I don't know. Just theorizing
yeah,
ideas
because
of how
they
that could work
do
out.
describe that dream world is unique to that cluster.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
right.
other
So each
clusters
cluster probably
don't
has their own
operate the
thing.
same
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
My
the
other
idea
thought was
like,
that it
that
was
she just like these are all my powers.
Hmm.
yeah. My other thought was that the person that she's like trying to get back her power from was someone who was one of her lieutenants that came in with her and then died somehow, and Valkyrie slooped up that soul, as it were.
Awesome.
And so now
interesting.
Valkyrie
I like that.
holds that power, and Goddess has to hunt down Valkyrie at some point, which would be cool to bring Valkyrie back because I love Valkyrie.
We do need Valkyrie back at some point.
Yeah, another one of my favorite capes from Worm that just has not been in Ward enough. But like I think something like that is kind of what I was thinking, is that it's like, it's bigger than just like snatching back the person, but like how do you get rid of her influence? Like, well, you die. And
Yeah,
Valkyrie
I guess I'll
takes your
die.
soul, so
Yeah. Fran points out.
Fran pointed out. I
Oh,
guess
yeah,
Oh,
go.
Michael.
No, go ahead.
Oh.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say Fran pointed out. Good job guessing that she had Spidey sense last week. By the way, I guess
we did nail that.
somebody guessed that.
Yep.
Good for
We
them.
did. Yeah, the danger sense.
it's like we're geniuses or something.
It's like we've read a few of these before.
Yeah.
I will say one last thought on this chapter, and I will touch on it, I'm sure, throughout this whole arc. But another thing Wildbow does very well, we've talked about it a lot, but the way he writes character interactions and dynamics, and I really appreciate that. This story, when it would start, feels like the type of story where you would expect a redemption arc for Amy, or a redemption of the Victoria Amy friendship, sisterhood, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I think a lesser author would have gone that route. And I appreciate that despite it hitting those notes, I don't want that to happen. And I don't want, and it doesn't feel like we're getting that, which I think is a good thing. But like, Amy's not up for redemption in this story, in Victoria's eyes. And if it comes at all, I can only see it coming as like a heroic sacrifice where Amy dies, something like that, to sort of in death give Victoria some closure. But other than that, I love the dynamic between both Victoria and Amy that is so unsatisfying for them, but feels appropriate given what we know as the audience.
Yeah.
It's almost the inverse of when Overly Sarcastic Productions talks about Arcane. That what makes Arcane really amazing is the unbreakable bonds of love. That all of these characters have another person that they're essentially they just will not budge on. And there are so many times where the easy option is to break that bond, or like to have it, like, oh my gosh, the betrayal, and then turn away from them, and like, but they never do that for any of these people. And that makes things really complicated, because all of a sudden the writing is really difficult. And it feels like this is the opposite, where it's the unbreakable bond of hate, where you have Amy and Victoria interacting, and there's all these ties that are associated with them, like their mother and all this, where like, no matter what, even if Goddess is right there, Victoria will never work with Amy.
Yeah. It's
She will
I
die
haven't
before that happens.
I haven't seen BoJack Horseman, but I've seen the clip because it comes up on like character tropes a lot on Reddit. But of the like somebody saying to him, like, BoJack tries to apologize to him, and he's like, "I don't have to forgive you. Like, yeah, you can do this big speech, you can apologize, you can say, but I don't owe you closure." And I feel like that's kind of the
absolutely.
essential same thing here, where Amy is like, "I'm doing the right thing. I'm apologizing. I'm trying to make things better."
Just
And
selfish
she's like,
bitch.
I don't owe you any sort of
Yeah.
closure, Amy. You
Yeah.
don't deserve that."
Yeah, absolutely.
And I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Way to
Because it's
stand
for
your ground.
her. It's
Yeah,
for Amy.
exactly.
Like, she's
Right.
apologizing for herself so she can feel better. It's not about Victoria, because Victoria even says at one point later on when they leave, the whole thing about like, well, if she really cared, if she really did feel sorry, she would go, because she knows that I don't want to see her, and that nothing she could say or do would change that. And they walk outside, and there Amy is, right there next to Goddess. And it's like, see? Because it's not about Victoria, it's about Amy, which
Yeah. Yeah.
I hate Amy so much.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
As Fran points out, readers really did give a bunch of excuses to Amy, which I know is a consistent argument in the worm, cult. We'll go with worm cult. That's what I mean.
The worm cult.
Yeah.
The wolf, if you
And
will.
it says in part because
Oh,
most of the
wolf.
fandom didn't see the implications of sexual assault in the Carol interlude, which
Yeah.
I was one of,
Huh.
because as some beautiful soul asked, just straight out, can I just get a yes or no? That's what happened. And finally, Wild Bow was like, yes, there was sexual assault. I'm like, thank you. That's all I needed to hear. 'Cause
Yeah.
you really danced around it, and it could go either way, the way you describe it. Can we just get a yes or no?
Yeah.
And the answer is
Yeah,
yes.
definitely.
Amy is as horrible as possible.
Yeah.
And everything she does is terrible.
That makes me so emotionally ill.
Yeah,
All my
which
homies
we'll
are
get. Yeah, we'll get to that later. Truett points out that cluster mechanics, one of their favorite parts, the parahumans, and the K70s, which we'll get to later on, are a good address to the twin archetype in superhero media. One of my favorite parts about Wild Bow writing these is just how he sneaked in just very stereotypical tropes into these things.
Yep.
Like, and here we have the twin superhero thing. We actually have multiple examples of like what I'll describe as twinning superheroes later on. But
Yeah. Well, I think we can put 9.4 and 9.5 together. I think they go pretty well together,
Let's do
so I'm
it.
going to read them both.
Go
Just
for it.
in the interest of time. Victoria convinces Breakthrough that Byron being active is acceptable. Capricorn and Antares visit the major malfunctions, and they are attacked by teachers' thralls. 9.5, the major malfunctions, Victoria and Byron finish dealing with teachers' thralls. Their purple fire cape is revealed to be the prison's pharmacist, but she gets away. Couple of funny quotes is in 9.4. Kinsey describes herself as a low-key Enzy, which I thought was adorable.
It's really
Like,
cute.
because she's like convincing them Byron's cool, and she's like, "Kinsey, you good?" She's like, "Oh, I'm low-key Enzy." You know, it felt like the baby, we are cool. Welcome to downtown Coolsville.
yeah, I was thinking, I was like, what is that? Where there's like, cool. What is that from? It's
That's from the Iron Giant.
It's from
Iron
Iron
Giant.
Giant.
Yeah,
Iron
yeah.
Giant,
No, that's just this
downtown
hand
Poolsville
motion.
population. Us.
I'm hip.
I'm hip.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
You guys give me so much life.
Yeah. Low key NZ.
That's great.
Major malfunctions are cute, and then the other funny one to me was in 9.5. It opens with Victoria surrounded by fire, and the phrase Wildbow chose to use for her is "in the heat of the moment." And I was
Yeah.
like, eh,
It was the heat of
I-
the moment.
I was like,
Telling
I
"Hey."
love it when
how
he whips out his
I was
fun little
fake.
play on words. It's
Um,
always like so cheeky. It gives me kind of like that Taylor mentality of like, ooh, was that funny, guys? And we're all like, yes, that was hilarious. We loved
Yeah.
it. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Please another.
You bid good. You bid good.
You
I
been
don't have too much to say about these, but I have to go. I'll be right back. But you guys carry on without me for a moment.
Sure.
the
Nick being a good
dadhood
parent.
calls.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really love seeing the malfunction junctions again.
What's your malfunction?
They're
Working
so
with
cute.
powers way out in Dakotas.
They're adorable. I love them. Also, just the whole like when they first show up, is it Finale? Finale's like, we did it wrong. We did it out of order, and they're all like, she's focused on this. Can you please just like reassure her that it's fine? And it was like, okay, well, what did you do? And it's like, well, we hit person number 1 on the list, and then we saw that person number 2 showed up, so we switched to follow them. And she's like, we didn't follow number 1. And then she's like, no, that was good. You did the right thing. She's like, oh, we did? Oh, great. So cute. Oh my gosh, I love it. They're so green. For having been out here for like at least a little bit, like they're so green, which makes it like more endearing that they're just so like ready
And they
to
kick
go.
ass.
They do
They
kick ass.
literally
It's
fight
so
like
good.
an army. Like, I think, I mean, they end up like catching like what, 30 or 40 of them left over.
Oh yeah.
But the implication
Yeah.
is there was like 200 of them.
Yeah, there was a ton.
Ugh.
Yeah.
So much fun. So
Yeah.
much fun. Purple Fire was a little freaky.
The
a
purple
little more
fire is
than a little freaky.
extremely freaky. Because like, what's her face? You know, being invulnerable.
Yeah.
I forget. I want to say Karated, but or Caryatid.
Ariated.
Or yeah, Caryatid. Doing like trying to become invulnerable and do the thing, and it just makes the fire like it
Just makes it
combust
worse.
and get worse.
Yeah.
And so she's trying to do the thing that makes her invulnerable to, you know, all of this, and it's just lighting her on fire more,
Yeah.
and that's terrifying. Like a little bit of it gets on the wretch essentially, and like catches the
Yeah.
wretch on fire, and she's like, "Whoa!" You basically gotta like just drop it. You know,
Yeah.
the concept of lighting your powers on fire is ooh, just
Crazy.
terrifying.
Yeah, it falls into that weird category of some of the other powers that we've seen before, that are like use powers against you, basically, like use your own powers against you, and like the nullifier powers and stuff like that. It falls into that weird category where it's like it's better to not be powered in this case, just so that you don't get affected by the bullshit that's about to happen.
Hmm.
But yeah, Hannah doesn't like fire. Hannah doesn't do good with fire. So that was really panicky. I'm not gonna lie, the fire bits I kind of skimmed through a little bit faster because I was like, I don't need fire, thank you.
Now, when Caryatid got hit, I was like, oh no, she better be okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be pissed if she's not okay.
Right? Yeah. Gosh, she did get pretty burned.
She did,
up,
but
though.
she came out of it okay.
Yeah, she was all right,
And then
but her arm.
Special shout out to just Finale being like doing the little pew 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 pew
Yes!
pew the whole time, and it's
so
like
cute.
kind of just like knocking into people, but it's
I
not
love
like
it.
it's not doing much.
Yeah.
And you know, then you finally get the finale, the climax of you know, where it's like do the thing, and she's like okay, and then like all of the spots that she'd hit people start going off. Like
Yeah, I
the
love
real
it so
power
much.
isn't her hitting them. That's just like attaching the sticky grenades to them.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of the sticky grenades
like
go off in any random order. Yeah,
And
exactly.
I love
boom.
the
I
idea
love
of her
it.
like trying to like bounce them together to make
Yes,
like
like knock them into each other.
It's so good. I was like,
Love
okay, this
it.
is cool. This is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool
Yeah.
power for sure.
Yeah.
Because like everybody's
Yeah.
blasted and she's just under pew 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 and
Kabam, kabloom.
and it's like, is she doing anything? Not really. That it pays off.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
Crazy.
And she's so like
Her name makes sense now.
disappointed. Yeah, she's so disappointed in herself too. Like she's like, people fall weird. I've only practiced on sandbags. I'm sorry. And Victoria's like, you did fine. You stopped
was amazing.
everybody. And she's like, I could have been smoother. Like I didn't quite get the pattern I wanted going, you know?
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for her and Kenzie to meet and be best friends because I feel like she and Kenzie have that similar energy of just like,
Yeah.
oh man, I want to be helpful, but like, oh man, I messed up. And it's like, no, you did fantastic. Like, oh, okay. Like, I'm just happy to be here. Like, I think that
Yeah.
they'll be great friends once they hang out a little bit more.
Whatever the hell, what the hell does the other one do? I'm still trying to figure out what he does.
The syringe guy,
Syringe. What's his name? He's shooting out liquid everywhere. Withdrawal. Yeah.
withdrawal.
Like it makes him fast. I caught that. He's got the like power
Yeah.
suit thing. He's sprinting around liquefying things.
Oh, he could like sprint. He like sprayed it on the ground, so he like zoomed across the ground like he was ice skating across it, and then it went up a wall, and he was able to go up the wall.
So
Yeah.
Nick, have you played
Yes.
Portal 2?
Smidge.
Okay, so in Portal 2, there's a bunch of goo with different effects. One gives you like super slidey, one is bouncy, and so you like put it on different surfaces. What I imagine is he both has that ability where like he can take the giant syringe and shoot different effects that he can then use, but also I think his suit kind of feels like it's pneumatic, like if you've ever made syringe operated machinery for kids.
Okay.
That he can do, like that's how his suit is powered. So he's like bounding around, and then he's also just using the giant syringe to bonk people.
Yeah.
So, like it, you know,
Yeah.
that it doesn't seem to be much else other than that.
Okay.
But yeah,
So
I think that's all.
interesting. So I guess is his Tinker specialty liquids then?
I think
Or is
it's.
I
I think it's so it feels like it's
Pneumatics?
syringe. Like yeah, it's
Maybe?
because pneumatic would
Hydro-
be air, but I guess hydraulics in a way.
Hydraulics, maybe. Yeah,
Yeah.
like a Tinker
Yeah.
specialty of
As
hydraulic
Bernard is
pumps.
pointing out, the slime and stuff feels very similar to Gregor the snail.
Yeah.
Oh
some
yeah,
similar
kinda.
there too.
Yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Everybody clearly loves this episode. I mean this part because we're getting like a lot more comments. So
Yeah.
we'll read comments as we go, but I guess Alan, you should continue doing what you're doing, where we kind of hit the highlights
I'm just reading,
at the end.
trying to read the questions and stuff.
Yeah,
Anything that like is, you know, just adoration on people.
No, you're doing good.
That's,
I'm
that's
just
cool.
pointing it out. Yeah.
But they beat back like 200 people of just teacher minions, you know, just literally coming through en masse and shooting ray guns and shitty laser guns everywhere.
Yeah.
And
This
I
is
think of the I just love all the bad lines from like the old X-Men movies, but like in X-Men 3 when they're storming the Alcatraz or whatever it is, and Magneto goes, "In chess, the pawns go first." Just like
Yes.
unleashes this like horde of like lackeys. It's like that's what I'm thinking of. Teacher back there doing his best Magneto impression. He's definitely wearing a cape.
Oh,
Oh,
for
gosh.
sure.
Yeah.
It feels very much like the putties in Power Rangers where they're just like mindless gray suited thoughtless beings that are for the heroes to knock down.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Is it? I
Yeah.
mean, I feel like it's supposed to be a good strategy. Just like, wear
Oh,
your heroes out a little bit. Which, like, yes, but also
and
a
very
lot of just
clearly it only
mindless Zambonis.
And
exactly,
you know
and
what?
very clearly they're expendable, right? Like there's the one
Right.
important person they're trying to get out. The putties are expendable.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say, and you know what? You're actually on the money about, I think, the like putty analogy, because in uh, 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 Power Rangers, you typically have the putties, which are your mindless, getting in the way, and they can sometimes be a little overwhelming, like they tire the Power Rangers down.
Yeah.
But in the middle of those fights, they also have whatever the monster of the week is, and then that guy
Mhm.
comes in and really wrecks your shit. And in this case, that is how we've described how they operate. Is it's just like swarm them by numbers and then send in a couple specialty guys to deal with whatever the problem is.
Yeah.
And Goddesses even, hey, we don't want to, I don't want to set off the teacher button because they're going to swarm me with these little guys and then they're going to hit me with specialized powers, like
Mhm.
powered people that he's
Designed to take
recruited,
you out.
which we'll
Yeah.
see later.
Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine. He seems to have quite a handle on his plan of how he's gonna, I guess, take over the world. I don't know. We don't really know what his end game is yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
moving on.
9.6.
Can't even.
There you go.
9.6. Victoria talks with Jester. Byron reveals the hit that Tristan called on both of them. Kinsey figures out how Teacher's portal machine works and plans to prevent anyone from leaving the prison world. Very cute Jester and Victoria moment. Yeah.
Love Jester.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah.
I just now put together the hit
Oh, from the
from
glowworm thing?
Glowworm.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That didn't even cross my mind. I'm like,
Yeah.
Been a
he's
minute.
like, yeah, he was like super, Mr. Smarty Pants putting the whole thing up and like trying to draw people. What? Makes sense. Hannah may or may not just be really stupid or have really short-term memory, but which we already know I do have.
It's
But
dementia.
I know the glowworm dementia is real strong. Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Alright.
well, no, I was glad you brought that up though, because it was funny. I was like, it was still in the back of my mind, but I'd kind of forgotten about that
Oh
whole
yeah.
bit in Glowworm and that we put together it was Tristan. And then we're like,
Same.
oh, this is what it. So this is the most aggressive purity accountability group, and is my analogy is what
Yep.
I'm. It's
Yep.
like, like if you have like if anybody grew up in like super intense Christian culture, you'll understand. But like the intense men's accountability group where it's like,
Mhm.
all right, like we got to tell everybody what we did this week that was sinful on the internet. This
my
is
God.
that,
Oh my
except
god.
all right, everybody confess, and if you watched any porn, we're gonna crush your balls.
Yeah, it's just it's the like I don't know remember what it's called, like watchful eyes or something on your computer.
Yes.
But like the
Yes.
moment you click on something, it
Yeah.
just shoots you in the head.
Yeah.
Yep.
Covenant
Yep.
eyes. Yeah.
Covenant eyes, that's
Covenant
what it was.
eyes.
Oh my
there we
god.
go. Yeah.
I didn't
just
have it on my
blast
computer,
you
but
right
my
in the
friend had
face.
it on his, so that was. No, it's funny. That's so funny though, because girls had the modesty accountability, so it was always like you had your accountability friend to be like, your shirt's a little tight. Like I can see your boobs. I'm like, look, it's a shirt. I can't do anything about that.
True.
Wow.
A guy said
also
that too. I had
assumed-
my modesty buddy for my tight
Yeah.
shirts.
Make sure
Yeah.
your pants weren't too baggy.
Uh-huh.
Exactly.
Like
My modesty buddies were
hanging a
terrible.
bit low
They
there,
just said
Jacob.
right there.
Mhm.
Yeah. But no, it is, and again, because the analogy that came to mind is like the extreme cults that take certain parts of the Bible literally, where they're like, if you struggle with lust, gouge your eyes out. It feels like Sin is doing that. He's like, you know what? I can't control myself. I got to have an extreme measure to make sure I treat Byron right, which we'll talk about later. I got to have some extreme measures in place to make sure I treat Byron right. These people are gonna kill us if I don't. It's like, whoa, hang on.
No. We'll even say it's not us. They're going to kill him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Exactly.
So
I'm
that
just
he's
like,
just in purgatory forever and in pieces. Like
yeah,
that's the goal, is that they like
they
dismember
injure
him
him,
and then
they
he
dismember
switches
him,
back.
and then he switches into Byron because their injuries don't swap, right? Their bodies are
Correct.
separate.
No.
Correct.
yeah.
They
So,
just occupy
my
the
God,
exact same space.
what the hell, man?
So
What a goof.
You know, I can appreciate it though.
Yeah. Knowing what we know later, it makes more sense. But in the
Yes.
moment, I'm like, this is
Like,
the kind of
what?
solution only a teenage boy would come up with without thinking about it too deeply.
Yeah, right.
How,
Yeah,
how
and
old is
like,
Capricorn?
I mean, at this
Currently?
point, he's 17, I
17?
believe.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I thought he was like just 18 or something like that.
He might have
yeah,
been just
17.
18 because
Might have been
he's
18.
15
Because I thought he was
when we're dealing
officially
with
an
all
adult.
he's 15 with all the issues that we're dealing
that-
with in the
that's-
interludes.
That's pre-Gold
it's-
Morning.
Yeah, and it's been
it's
2
been a
years
couple
since.
years, 2 years.
So,
Yeah.
So, it could be, we're assuming it's minimum 2 years, could be more, so could be 18, is close.
I mean, apparently this whole story has been taking place over the last like 10 days. So
I keep and I'm so aware of it now where every time they like, wow, that was crazy last night. I was like,
it
Yeah.
was actually
it was last night. God damn.
Yeah.
Just
Which
breathe.
I
breathe.
feel like Wildbow's timeline doesn't make sense in a way, in the sense of like, oh, Natalie has a wicked scar. I'm like, not if she got stabbed last night. She still got like stitches. It's not a
It's a
scar
lot
yet,
of
Wildbow.
stitches.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. I feel like maybe
Yeah.
it's author brain though. I get it when you're like,
Right.
about how long should this take? Like a week, a day?
Yeah. You
How-
got a
how long
gunshot
can a
wound that was
horrible
pretty
injury take
bad.
to
Like,
kill
how long are you
myself?
going to be in
$5?
there?
Sure.
How many months?
Yeah.
A couple hours. Yeah.
How much could a
God.
banana cost? $10.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, nowadays, just about.
Yeah, right.
Just about.
Yeah. But yeah,
But yeah, Tristan does not do any middle ground on anything. It's either one side
he's
or the
very
other.
extremes.
So it's the
Yeah.
only extremes. So, he just, oh man, I've got to fix the problem that I caused, which we'll get to
That I
later.
caused. Better hire a hitman.
Yeah, what's the only solution? I guess I'll have somebody kill myself. Like,
Yeah.
jeez, man.
All right.
yeah. Silly.
Well,
It was nice to see Jester.
Love seeing Jester.
Also,
I
I
love
love the
that
little
he's,
conversation.
Yeah.
The little conversation that happens with him and Victoria about the whole like, yeah, I really like you, guys.
Yeah.
Cute, but also just like he's so. I mean, he's one of those unpowered people that just really, like Natalie, like really admires powered capes and wants to be around them and like wants to be there to help, to be the assistants and like to have the cool, call sign and just like be part of the team of like that kind of starry-eyed magic of capes and like being part of something great. And like I think he's just the sweetest little peach, but like his just I really like you guys and I just want to help and I want to be here. And like I told Gil to put me on any team that was with you guys because I want to be there with you guys. Like that is the sweetest thing. And Vicky just like punches him in the shoulder like, thanks, bud.
Yeah.
And then he's like,
oh, no.
also, how's that
Vicky!"
Ashley friend of yours?
Yeah.
And she's like, eyebrow raise. He's like, what? She's hot, and
She's
I also
cool.
we hung out.
She's
a lot.
also nice, and I like her, and I like you guys, and he's adorable. Oh, I love him. So cute.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Respect the
I just-
game.
Yeah. I just want to be that guy that you like about to go in the situation and go, like, you got my back, dude. And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, man. The kid's adorable. I love that. It's
Good.
very sweet. It's
Good
very endearing.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah.
Move
Uh,
on past
997.
997.
Yeah.
97.
These last few
6,
chapters,
7.
I know we're gonna pick up a
6,
good
7.
bit here.
I was about to say, I feel like some of these also blend just a little bit because I have
They
certain
do.
thoughts about the influence, like being under Goddess's influence, and like some of the things that Victoria thinks about to like keep her brain on track. But like I kind of want to hold those thoughts off till later, but I don't have to. But it's fine. Like, let's just keep going.
Yeah.
Also,
yeah.
Beefaroni points out that Tristan didn't have any chill because Byron had all the ice powers.
Wow.
Fair.
No, that was
Very
good.
point,
Well
very
done.
true.
Good
Yeah.
job. Here's looking at
All
you,
right.
kid.
That was like a
Ow!
bit late, but there we go. Good one.
Get him!
9-7. Kinsey explains how she'll be interfering with the portals. They alert God of the plan. Kinsey locks the prison down, and Byron gives up, switching to Tristan. I did think that was funny. They're like, "Hey, Goddess, here's the plan," and she's like, "Cool, I'm outside. Let me in." And they're like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah.
Yep.
And then Byron's like, "Wait. All
Wait.
right." And,
Oh, well.
yeah.
All right.
Too late.
Damn it.
Oh, Sveta.
Bummer.
This section, it's not mentioned in the summary, but Sveta is making me wildly uncomfortable.
Me too. Oh my gosh.
I'm not
just
having
like
it with
she is,
Sveta.
she is so. I feel like there's like, I'm aligned with Goddess, and Sveta is like way too far gone. I'm like, oh,
He's
this poor.
too
Yeah.
gung ho
She's
for
absolutely cooked.
comfortability.
She's like,
She is
she's like,
cooked.
Victoria, come here real quick.
Come here.
Do I need to kill Byron right now? Like,
Yeah.
you're like, whoa,
I will.
She's like,
You will.
Blink
Happily.
twice and I'll murder him.
well,
Because
she's
I
so
don't think
quick.
he's on
She's-
RT. I didn't like the color of his shirt. You think he's wearing blue because like he's trying to make fun of Goddess? Because I'll kill him.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, she's quick to jump on Victoria too, to kind of be like, well, like, are you with us or are you against? And you're like, whoa, calm down.
Everybody else in the room, like you said, Nick, like everybody else is like, bitch, chill. Like we're on Goddess's team, but we're not like that on Goddess's team.
Yeah, I know.
Even
Yeah,
Kenzie's not like about to shoot somebody.
It's
Yeah.
just also the fact that I can easily imagine if you could see like through her body armor, her like wriggling tentacles are just like raring to go, just like,
You're like,
okay, I'll take care of him for you if you need me. Anything.
What's
Yeah.
so funny.
the line from Hot Rod? I've been drinking green tea all day. Gonna bring the demons out of me.
Classic movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's multiple conversations of like to kind of like prove your loyalty or like question your loyalty of like, if you had to kill everyone on the planet, would you? And they're like, well, if she wanted to destroy the planet, I'd try and evacuate everyone first. And they're like, well, what if she wanted to destroy everyone without evacuating them? She's like, well, I guess she had a good reason to do it. No, she says no. She does say no. She's like, no. And everyone's like,
Yeah.
Fran does point out that Sveta does probably by far have the biggest kill count.
oh,
True.
for sure.
It's
for
true.
sure.
Unintentional,
the
maybe. But
regrets,
Well, you know, after
too,
this
of
conversation,
course.
it's like, was it?
Well,
Yeah.
no.
Maybe that's what's part of it, is there's that part of her, maybe not the part she likes, but the shard part of her that enjoys the killing, and that's easy for it's easy for her to go back to that.
Bernard,
Right. Well,
you know, so do you think, or just ask offhand, do you think Tress is the problem? Which is a good point, because we've kind of not had the spotlight on
kind
her,
of
and she is
ignored her,
very
yeah.
eager to kill in
Yeah.
this.
I would still say no, but like it makes me think of the kind of like how Imp has to actively be thinking about her power in order to like for people to see her. And we've talked before about like, okay, well, what if Imp dies and she's not actively controlling her power anymore? Is her body gonna lay there and people just like ignore it because of her power at play, like kind of a thing? And I kind of think the same thing with Tress. Like Tress is constantly trying to keep herself in check and like keep herself in control at all times and like contained. And in this moment where some of the barriers are coming down and that feeling of like, well, I'm going to protect, Goddess's honor, kind of like, I'm going to step in, is like lowers the barrier a little bit, lowers some of the inhibitions. And it makes me wonder if she's more, like you said, more capable of reacting drastically in a situation like this, as opposed to Victoria, who will maybe hold off a little bit more. Although she was pretty quick to choke out Byron a couple of chapters ago. So
Michael, are you currently masticating food on screen right now?
I do this like every podcast. What do you talk about?
I know it's just especially
like
prevalent because that's
food.
like the vocab word for this chapter.
Masticate.
Masticate.
That's
it definitely comes up in the interludes.
It does.
It happens like twice in like a couple paragraphs of each other.
That's exactly why I did it.
Thank you. Good callback, Michael.
Yep.
He was like,
I was like, I'm kind of disappointed that we haven't had more copacetics.
I know.
We really haven't. I keep an eye on
Nick, what's the fuck me count? Because I feel like we had a couple fuck me's somewhere in here, but
we may have. I forgot to count.
Definitely a couple fuck yous, but
yeah. Not as many. Not as many though. Yeah. I think it's funny the visual concept of Kinsey messing with the portals and be like, I can just scramble teachers so they like open up 100 feet in the earth. And I just imagine they just like teachers like got this big room, like, all right, time to go to the prison. Portal opens, just rocks pour through. He's like, nope. Open again.
He calls it. He's
just
like
in the sky. Nope. It's like something's wrong.
That's funny.
Just him like switching a toggle switch, like
all I can think of with that is Treasure Planet, where he's opening the different portals trying to find the right one. And it's like a bunch of horrible things on the other end.
Exactly that.
Yeah.
But each time to figure it out, he kicks one of his putty thralls in and it like explodes or something back and he's like, oh, that was a bad one.
Nope.
Yeah. All right. 9.x to the interlude.
Oh, okay, wait, I have a question.
Interlude.
Yep.
Yes.
Do we want, because of the way that the interludes are, do we want to separate them like they are written,
we could do
or
9.
do we want to
8 and 9.9 and then do the two
let's
come back.
Let's talk about this together. The one thing I would like to talk about,
slew of just Capricorn thoughts.
Yeah.
The one thing I want to talk about going into these though is I really enjoyed the writing for the transitions between the interludes and the regular chapters in between, because each one picks up the same exact emotional state that's going on and the literal transition that's happening between Byron and Tristan.
Yeah.
Tristan starts by like literally the transfer where he's super angry, and then we cut to Byron being super angry at the opening and them fighting, and then there's a literal like he switches and we cut back to the other one where they're literally switching.
Yeah.
And the emotion states are the same at the ends and the beginnings when they come to. The way it just lines up is really fun because it's one of those seamless. I could see it as a show that like you could literally have the person walk and then them just walk into the next scene, and it would just it would look so good.
Yeah.
Something just thought of.
So, do we want to do 9, 8, and 9, 9 together, and then we'll get into the interludes, perhaps?
Yes, please. If everyone's cool with
Good thought.
All right. 9, 8, and 9, 9, because this is all the prison stuff. The conversation with Goddess continues. She's missing a cluster mate. Amy tries to touch Victoria and ends up just angering her. The battle for the prison begins. 9.9. The prison attack continues. Breakthrough Goddess and members of Foresight fight off the teacher thralls. Lung, Blindside, and Kingdom Come appear.
Oh yeah.
And I'm just happy that Lung is back.
Oh, he's
my
boy.
caked up and
Oh.
ready to go.
I loved that when
I'm-
she's like,
Let's fucking go.
there's a Blindside, Kingdom Come, and another guy I recognize with metallic scales growing out of his skin. He
Hell yeah,
brought
baby.
fucking Lung. And I'm like,
Hell
yeah!
yeah,
He's been
baby.
doing nothing but crunches and pull-ups for 2 goddamn years.
I'd like to think he's
been
been doing
crunching
nothing but
and
squats,
pull-ups
so he's
and
just
eating
caked out of his
food
mind.
That's what, yeah. He's just been squatting for 2 years.
love
Yeah,
it.
he was the sole reason why I wanted to read another chapter this morning, but did not.
Mhm.
Had to see
I
it.
yeah,
I'm
me
on chapter
too.
At first, I was a little disappointed because I was like, damn it, Lung got teachered. Like, damn it. But then I thought the way teacher operates, perhaps he's sending people that are fucked with his groups. Like those are the specialized people. And we know that like Blindside and Kingdom Come are like solo operators. So I'm going to assume that they're not teacher influenced.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So the idea is that they just work for him.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that's more the vibe I got because at least in Worm, and this would be a change to his character, in Worm, it felt like Lung was adamant that he was not going to submit to teacher. He's like, I'll work with you if our goals align, and that's probably what's happening here somehow. He's like,
Yeah.
but I'm not letting you touch me because I know how your power works and I'm not interested. Also, Lung
Exactly.
is like already really powerful. Obviously maybe teacher can unlock some other hidden potential. Like
like
I could,
fucking
like
what?
Lung,
That he can pick locks? Like what the fuck?
yeah, yeah. I'm like Lung is like, I don't
He's a
really
door
need
basher.
your help, So
And
Yeah,
also I can tear
absolutely.
you limb from limb. Like
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yes. In fact,
And
please do.
yeah. It would make sense actually too to send people who aren't under his direct control because those are the
Yeah.
people who kind of fucked up his whole prison plan anyway. Because
yeah.
all Kinsey had to do was be like, flash the teacher logo, go do this, and the thrall was like,
And they were like,
oh no, I gotta go.
Yeah.
So yeah, not smart. Not smart, the thralls.
I love that she's just marking them with like the T for teacher. Like
it's so
Yeah.
funny. I love her little markers. They're great.
Yep. Yeah, man. Imagine just being a regular prison guard in all of it. Like you're not teachered, you're not you're not like a spy
you're just
for goddess
you're
or
just there. It's
foresight.
just your day
You're just
job.
it's just your day job. And then
yeah.
yeah,
You're
those
there
are
and everything's going down, and meanwhile outside you hear like, and now for the rage in the cage, Lung versus goddess, and you're like, oh, fucking buildings are
Not
just
a-
like flying out, and like there's a dragon running around.
even the
You're like,
prisoners
"Fuck."
being like, don't do anything, your bombs might go off, and one of them's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I just oh man, it sucks. It
Yeah.
sucks. The Amy moment.
Yeah, let's
speaking
go
of-
back to that
How
because we
dare
need to.
Mm.
How fucking
That-
dare she?
Pissed me off so much. I was so mad.
I'm
Do you guys
surprised
think
she
she
is
was
not
trying?
dead. Like,
Oh,
I
me too. Oh my
I have
god.
no
That
idea how
bitch.
she's not dead.
That
Like, just
goddamn
Yeah,
bitch.
should be.
getting backhanded by Victoria, or nearly backhanded by Victoria. Is like,
Nearly. Yeah.
Do we think
Do-
that Victoria didn't kill her of her own accord, or was she goddessed into not killing her?
Oh, Goddess never said anything about not killing a bitch.
Yeah.
So like,
True.
I think she just like she threw up the shield and not, whatever.
Everything exploded. She was
Yeah.
in defense mode, not attack mode. And defense
True,
mode just
true.
happened to also rip up the floor.
Yeah.
My thoughts, but
and I think it threw Amy backwards too, right? It didn't
Yeah.
hurt her, but it kind of like
Yeah.
it
created
shoved her
the bubble
backwards
explosion to like shove
into
her
the
back.
into the
Yeah.
room because they're like stepping outside onto the fire escape
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh.
as it happens.
Like,
But
God,
that moment too is
Like,
so
Jesus
good
fuck
she's
Amy. Can't you just keep your hands to your goddamn self?
yeah,
Like,
for real. Because she thinks it's Sveta. She thinks it's
Right.
it's trust. And because she sees the red out of the corner of her eye, and she's like, oh yes, the color, that's gotta be trust. And then she realizes that it's like mittens. And the kind
it's
of
the
the
tattoo.
realization. Oh yeah, it's the tattoo. Like it's she goes through the thought process really quick of like Sveta, no. Natalie with gloves on, no. And then like just the realization that it takes so long for her because she never would have thought that Amy would try and touch her.
The
and
audacity.
It's such
The
the
audacity.
fucking audacity of this bitch.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Oof.
It's the cucumber with the cat, right? So you know, cat kind of sees a cucumber and then freaks out. Same thing. That's what I imagined happened here.
Yeah, absolutely. Do we think
Yeah.
that Amy maybe was gonna try and do something?
Oh fucking
Yeah.
course she was.
100%.
No, like
I
like to influence her.
like
I think she was gonna.
power-wise,
I think she was
no.
gonna try to fix her very first touch. I think she was gonna try to fix emotionally Victoria's hatred of her that she screwed up when she first touched her.
Well, I was gonna
Maybe.
say that wasn't the touch, but I know what you mean. Like I think
Yeah.
she was going to undo the hatred part.
She was
so
gonna
that at
try and undo
least-
some of that hatred.
Yeah.
Because in her mind, everything's justified. So kind of this idea of like, well, if I can just like reverse some of her hatred of me, then maybe she'll see that Goddess is a problem and I'm trying to help her. Because it all comes back to
Exactly.
Amy feeling justified with everything that she
Yeah.
does. That's like, it's cool. I can talk to you. I can be here because I'm trying to help you.
It's-
I'm trying to save you. It's not about
Yeah.
me. It's about you and how much I want to protect you. Like you can fuck right off with
It's
all
the
that
it's the worst
absolute
person you
bullshittery.
know making a legitimately good point, right? Because she is Amy's
yeah.
like, I'm working with Goddess, but guys, you really shouldn't.
You
Like,
really
yeah.
she's
shouldn't.
not a good person. You're under and yeah.
Maybe she was
I
trying to
don't
ungoddess her.
understand.
Maybe she was trying to ungoddess
Yeah,
her.
could have been trying to do something
Maybe
like that.
so.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know,
I mean, wait, no fucking consent. No consent happened here, Amy.
Yeah.
Fuck
There's
right off.
Emperor's New Groove, no touchy gif.
No touchy.
No touchy.
I just
No
think
touchy.
the Arrested Development, no touching, no touching.
No
It's just
touching.
it's so selfish. It's the selfishness has no end with Amy. I just don't. There's
Knows no
there's nothing
bounds.
in my mind that she could do that could make me change my mind of her.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
realistically, she could save the world, and I wouldn't care. I would still hate her. There's
Realistically-
absolutely nothing.
She did help save the world.
Yeah.
And she's still a
yeah,
gonna censor my
Yeah.
own self a little bit.
no,
Mhm.
she's
You can feel
terrible.
the vitriol. It's like sitting like ink in the back of my mouth. I'm very
Yeah.
upset.
and it definitely feels like she's a conflicted character in Worm, and she's bad, and this definitely feels like all right, you guys didn't get the message, so Wildbow went ahead and was like, we're gonna talk about how bad she is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's
Yeah.
be clear. She's a selfish bitch who only thinks of herself. This whole thing. Like, okay. What was Amy thinking was going to happen? That she was going to help Goddess. And then Goddess is like, oh, yes, we're meeting with Breakthrough. Amy didn't go, Goddess is going to totally take over their brains. And
Also, she was the one that
She didn't,
sold
like-
them on it.
yeah,
Yeah.
what
Right.
is wrong with her? What is wrong with her?
Yeah.
Everything.
Well,
I don't
Amy's the
know
one
what-
who even
I don't know what her
suggested
thought process
breakthrough
is.
to Goddess.
That's what I'm saying.
I
Yeah.
don't understand
Yeah.
why she thought that she could do that. Because, like, it's not like she thought. I think maybe that Goddess would, like, bring them in the capacity that Goddess brought her in, like, where she wouldn't put them under her power? Or was she just
Yeah.
stupid? Because, like, okay, here's the thing. Again and again. Amy is not. Is Amy just that stupid?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, remember, don't forget,
I think
her introduction in Worm was her being like, nobody can understand the burden that I have with my power.
That's true.
I have
Yeah.
to save everybody all the time.
Oh, so
it's
much
like-
leukemia patients. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Also, never
God.
forget that, like all I can think is, Goddess says, "Hey, Victoria, don't fucking kill Amy," and then Amy's like, "Victoria, I'm gonna tap you on the shoulder. I'm gonna free you, so you don't have to do anything that she just said." She just taps her on the shoulder, and Victoria just puts a hand through her face.
Bam! Puts her in the earth.
Basically. I mean,
damn.
and then she ends up getting sidelined by Goddess because of it. Goddess is like,
Oh,
should
yeah.
stay. You stay here, Amy. You go do
Yeah.
something else for me.
Stay here. You go do
Um,
something.
but oh man, it's just so much.
Ah.
I do love Amy as sort of just a narrative antithesis to everything that Taylor
Oh.
was, where
Mhm.
Yeah.
Taylor was the her whole thing was, if everyone just listened to me, we'd be fine, and she was right. Whereas Amy is like,
Yeah.
if everyone just listened to me, we'd be fine, and she's just dead wrong.
Not
Wrong
right.
So
Yes.
wrong. She's wrong in every capacity.
Yeah.
God
And
damn.
this is a great moment, and I don't remember, so I hope this will be, of many, where Natalie sees this happen and
Yes.
kind of puts two and two together of like,
Yes, yes.
oh, that's
Oh.
okay. You have a lot of animosity towards your sister and your mother because of this, and I know some of that, and now I get it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I think this
Yeah.
might be the turn of like, maybe your mom's kind of shitty.
Yeah. Well,
She
because
was
I
like,
was
this
gonna
is a
say,
big chapter of like, wow, that's very Carol of you. And she's like, yeah, it
Yeah.
is. Oh, you're very, like, that sounds like something your mother would say. Or like, oh, and you know how your mom's cool. And this is the first time I think she's gone like,
Like, oh.
"Eh,
not so
that's
cool.
not
Well,
good.
because what I was gonna say is, I imagine perhaps the worst thing that Carol has done when she invited Amy to that cookout is give Amy any sense of hope that things could be good again, right?
Right?
I think that's, and I'm not saying that's entirely Carol's fault. Obviously, Amy is deluded into believing it as well. But what I'm
But she's
thinking is
feeding
that,
it.
yeah, Carol's feeding it, exactly. It's this idea of like, hey, mom, kind of, do you ever think me and Victoria could be sisters again? And Carol's like, I really want that. I'd love for that to happen. I'll talk to her. I'll be the mediator. Probably even like sugarcoating it, like, had a good conversation with Victoria today. I mentioned you and she didn't send me through a wall. Yeah. Like, and Amy's like, oh, so you're saying there's hope for us.
You're saying
I
there's
just,
hope? Oh my god. No,
yeah,
Amy,
like,
abandon all hope.
Fran
yeah,
points
Honestly,
out.
the
yeah.
best thing that could happen is that that goddess leaves, and Amy goes with her, and then we seal that portal and break it into 1,000 bazillion quintillion pieces, and then we never ever have to see, hear, or speak to Amy ever again. That would be the ideal scenario here.
Sounds
Just
good.
no
to me.
more Amy ever. Goodbye. Close the door.
Yeah.
Lock it. Bar it. Blow it up.
Just
Go
to
with you.
summarize chat really quick, they like your idea as to what Amy's reasons are. Fran says that most people they've spoken to or seen say that they think that Amy was trying to undo Goddess's mind control.
Yeah, that makes sense. That
Yeah.
would track.
Mhm.
But who knows?
But still, honestly, it doesn't even matter if your intentions are good. Get right the fuck out. If she had succeeded, if it had been me in this lovely fake scenario in my head, it had been me. Amy puts her hand on my shoulder. Now I'm no longer and I turn around and I just go, bitch, I don't need help from you. And then I go, hey, can you zap me in real quick to Goddess? Like, back under control again, and then blast Amy, and then like I'll figure it out on my own, because fuck Amy. Fuck Amy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I don't need your fucking help. In fact, I don't want it. In fact, I would rather die than take your help. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Well,
Understandable.
Amy aside,
I need like a stuffed animal to choke out real quick. I can't choke out Amy. I don't have anything in here.
That's what we sell knitted like Amy's that you can strangle.
What's
It's
the-
just a little figure
voodoo
with
doll.
the classic like white.
Yeah, it's just a
hood and,
voodoo
like,
doll of
the
Amy
stripe.
that you can like
Yeah,
stab
well,
with repeatedly.
what are those called? The damn it dolls? They're the damn it dolls where they're intended to be whacked and beaten when you get frustrated.
Oh,
I mean,
You
I've seen
know-
the ones for like referees in football. It's like the Velcro
Yeah.
arms and head and legs that you can like rip apart.
rip off. That's amazing. That's
That's
amazing.
funny.
Just like
well,
angrily rip up a sheet of paper. Just like,
Yeah.
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 All right. Interludes.
Amy aside, well, I was just gonna say real quick. Amy aside, at least Victoria got through to Tristan. Like, hey, there's Master Stranger protocols that
yes. Oh my god.
happening, and Tristan
Finally.
was like,
Thank
got
God.
it.
Yep.
That makes more sense. And then Goddess makes a comment that Chris is still
Yes.
working for her,
Yes.
but
Oh,
was
yeah.
trying to
Yeah.
counteract her
Okay.
powers.
Okay. I pulled
No, no.
I
And
pulled
that
it up
he
because
had
I wanted to talk
what I
about it.
loved was the
Yes.
phrase multiple layers of deception with that one,
Yeah.
which I was like, interesting. Again, kind of going back to our theory that Krista's human form may not be his true form.
True. Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe
Yes.
some kind of a case 53 type thing. So,
Yeah. It
I'm
says
still actually
or
he came
holding
something
to
similar.
me.
the hope. Oh, go ahead.
He came to me with a form prepared to counter me. And that is, as far as I detected, only one of the 3 levels of deception that Boy was putting into practice. I wasn't sure most members of the team weren't shocked at that. Looks were exchanged of alarm, concern. But he's helping you? Lookout said. He is. He's clever enough that I want to work with him. And I'm so excited.
So, yeah, is the sentiment there is that he came prepared with the form to counter her, so she's not controlling him, but they're still working together.
It's what
Yeah.
it sounds
I imagine
like.
very much
Yeah.
like an Amy capacity.
Yeah. Okay.
Because there's so much of him we don't know. Like there's so
Yeah.
much that's like a
It-
blank space when it comes to Chris.
Yeah. It makes me think maybe there are just some types of parahuman powers that form weird counters to Goddess's form
That's
of
what
mind
I was
control.
thinking.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so Chris's emotional transformation power, I could even see maybe Crystal Clear, not that it's been confirmed or anything, but maybe someone like Crystal Clear who can see through things and perceives things differently, maybe
Right.
could be immune. Stuff like that, characters like that could be like it doesn't work as well against maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we know he has one character that wasn't affected by Mama Mathers because he could literally turn
Right.
off his brain and let it go on
Right.
instinct. So
Right.
potentially, you know,
Right.
he uses that form again.
Mhm.
My impression of this is that he did get got, but he came trying to come, you know, kill her.
Right.
Mhm.
Trying
And
to
it
beat
didn't
her.
work. And
Yeah.
that maybe it was a multi-layered thing where he shows up and he's in like that form, but then that form sheds off and there's another form underneath that like he
Mm.
jumps out of and is like, ha, you only were controlling the first form.
Yeah, yeah,
And you know, something like that.
yeah. Very
I
interesting.
still really like the theory that we threw around a while ago about him somehow being connected to the Simurf. I'm still pretty like tied to that idea mentally because I just love the idea. I just never want to get rid of the Simurf. I like her way too much. Like I feel like she just
That's
needs to have a
funny.
constant place in the story. So like I love the idea of maybe keeping that somehow where he's somehow connected to her, or you know, not to say Simurf baby, but like something of that where he's not entirely human. Like we're all assuming that he's human with these like monstrous powers, but maybe it's the other way around. And it made me so excited. But like the idea of this ties into the theory thing I was talking about earlier, but like so if you have Amy, who is so, because of her healing thing or because of like her mind control stuff or whatever it is you want to say, that like she either is immune or has some sort of safeguard against Goddess's powers. It's like, okay, so hypothetically it could be mental, and even with Crystal Clear, you know, kind of turning your brain off, something like that, of like it being a mental fortitude kind of thing, or some sort of like mental alteration of like Chris having, because his powers are so emotionally driven and are so like they're all named after the different states of being kind of, that
Mhm.
like because it's so fragmented, and because like maybe him as a person is so fragmented and broken up, that like it takes way more work, or maybe none at all, you know, like it doesn't have any impact at all, but to fully grab him. Like
Mm.
the idea of like, well, you reach out and you try to snatch, you know, him, but you can't because he's so fragmented and so broken up that you're only getting kind of like Goddess only got like a chunk of it.
Mhm.
She only got like the tactician part, or she only got like some of the groupthink part, but she wasn't able to get all of them because of that, like, I don't know how to say this any better than just like mental cracking or like fragmentation that Chris seems to
Mhm.
have
Yeah.
of himself.
I'm going to read this and then we're going to move on because we do not have the time. to continue talking about this
Oh,
when we have
okay.
the interludes
Okay.
to talk about.
Yes, that's true.
Fran points out the way that Wildbow writes Amy as so much more obviously fucked up is why to this day some people say that he retconned Amy to get back at the fandom and fanfic writers for portraying Amy as an innocent victim. I wouldn't say so much retconned, so much
Just
as
double
he
down,
just
maybe.
continued the saga. Like if anything, I see like a lot of like planning ahead. Amy very clearly was never a good person, like literally not a good person from the start. And that is her trajectory from, throughout Worm. And then in Ward, it just keeps going instead of like arcing down. So everything we know about her just is fucked up, and it just gets more fucked up. The only difference is like everybody assumed that there would be a redemption, and instead it's just Amy staying as bad as Amy is in her peak,
Yeah.
But let's go talk about these interludes. Nick.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll put them both together because I think it's easier just to deal with it that way. Interlude, flashback to Capricorn's trigger events. They join and interact with Reach. They argue, try to work out their situation, and they prepare to go after Paris. Paris escapes from Reach. Byron takes Moonsong to church. Tristan has a therapy session. And another fight with Paris ends with Tristan faking Byron's death. Whew. Man, this is painful. This stuff
not
is
the
so
interludes I
well
was
written.
expecting for Capricorn.
It's not the interludes we wanted, but it is the interludes we deserved.
Yeah, right.
So what came to mind when reading this, and they were not so obviously abusive to each other as these two are, but my brother had some friends in high school who were twins, and they hated being twins with an absolute vitriol. And in fact, were atheists because, as they put it, only a god who hates people would make them twins.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
Interesting.
It's a classic twins.
Yeah, classic twins. So naturally, my next question was like, so do you guys switch places or what? Just kidding. But,
so you do any of the cool tropes?
Yeah, exactly. But no, it's that kind of like painful vitriol of trying to be your own person when I mean it's hard enough having siblings and being compared to your siblings in any capacity, but to have somebody who is the same person as you, quote unquote, and being compared to that, it's like, oh man, why can't you just be more outgoing like Tristan? Why can't you be just more active like Tristan? Why can't you be more respectful? And it's just like, oh man, it sucks. The whole thing sucks.
Yeah.
The fact that Byron almost killed Tristan too is very interesting.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
And vice versa, yeah. Like they were in the act of killing each other.
Yeah, they really were.
Triggered. Like it's
so
crazy.
It's
Crazy.
funny, as Truitt pointed out. I've always been of the opinion that like Tristan is a very I think it's a knight, like Sir Tristan, and I can't think of what it's from. Maybe it's King Arthur, or maybe it's like Ivanhoe. I don't know. As being a very upbeat, intentionally like flamboyant character, and that is this Tristan to a T. But I've never thought about the fact that Byron and Tristan are a perfect example of a Byronic hero, as Truitt points out. I think Wildbow intentionally named them that way. And I was like, Byronic, I can't say I've ever heard that. A literary character archetype known for being rebellious, arrogant, passionate, cynical, and possessing a dark, brooding, and mysterious past that often involves significant trauma or a dark secret, named after the poet Lord Byron.
Yep.
I was like, wow. Yeah, that fits.
Tristan.
Also, Vic, great to see you.
Just to tell you what it's from, Alan, Tristan's the troubadour knight from the Round Table.
Ah, see,
there you go.
His famous myth is Tristan and Isolde.
That's what it is.
Forbidden love story.
Let Let me.
Classic.
So there's that as well. Yeah, very good names, very well chosen names. I feel like. Oh,
Yeah.
Alan's looking at the bookshelf.
Cat.
I can promise you, he's
Oh,
probably looking
bookshelf,
for
okay.
Arthurian legend stuff.
Um,
No, if you're seeing
yeah.
scurrying around in Alan's shot, it's him. He's the scurrier. It's not a cat.
yeah.
He scurries like one. Don't tell
I mean,
him
I
said
feel
that.
like that counts. That
My
counts
King
enough as
Arthur
a
books
cat
in the other
screen.
room.
I was gonna say I think your Arthurian Mort d'Arthur is in our bedroom.
No, I'm not looking for Le Mort d'Arth. I was looking for the Doris and Kingsley King Arthur.
Is there such a thing as a nerd flex?
encyclopedia
Because
thing.
that's what's happening right now.
That's correct. Accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, it's I will say going into this, so this whole time of our group, Capricorn has been my favorite. I really like Tristan. I really like how confident he is. I like his outgoing personality. He interacts with people really well. He takes form of leader really, really well. I really like that. Byron is the shyer, more introverted, quieter version, which I also love and have been like, I would love to have more of this. It's really interesting to me going into these interludes. I was kind of like prepared to have to make a decision of like, or take a side in terms of history of like, okay, well, knowing their backstory now, knowing now, you know, what's going on, I was kind of like wondering, will my opinion change of Byron or Tristan as we go along? And I'll tell you right now that I've read these two interludes, I can't help but love them both so much more and equally, and cannot take a side, even though we end these second interlude with Tristan pretending that Byron is dead. Doesn't matter. I fucking love it, and I love them both so much more now because of it. It's so interesting because there were different times where I was like more team Byron or more team Tristan, but like by the end, no, I just, this is fantastic. Like I love them both, and my opinions have shifted a little bit, but like ultimately, oh, this is so good.
Yeah.
They're still my
I
favorite
do.
characters of the group.
I do still think they're interesting, but my respect for Tristan has dramatically dropped, I think,
That's what Alan was saying
in the sense
too.
of like he comes across like a selfish prick through most of this.
Oh,
And
he is.
I want
Absolutely.
to keep in mind that most of these interludes are told from Byron's perspective. So I want to keep that coloring of events in mind. However, just even from when when Tristan is inside and Byron is the one in control and we're seeing it from Tristan's perspective, he still comes across like a prick. Where it's
Yes.
like Byron's like, I mean, I guess if he needs this, or like, oh, come on, Tristan, like, please let me out. Like, I just want to say hi. Like, if I feel like Byron's requests or feelings are always reasonable, whereas Tristan's is just like, oh my God, this is so boring. Oh my God, he's
Yeah.
looking at Moonsong again. Like, it's just so demeaning. So I don't know. There's something about it that just, oh, he feels so selfish and so self-absorbed. And like even with the
Yeah.
therapy session, it's like they get a 2-hour session. Byron gets 15 minutes, you know, like
Mhm.
ah
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
I just
He.
ugh.
Get it out, Alan.
I
Get it
wonder
out.
if narcissism, like,
Mhm.
just because there is not a single moment in this that is a believable, like him actually caring about somebody else. At one point in time, he talks about, oh, I wanted to get Paris just so I could say to the injured, what was his name? Not Retribution, but whatever the Christian hero is. Nate, yeah. To tell Nate
Yeah.
that, like, oh man, that like we got him. Which is the
Yeah.
most post hoc justification I've ever heard in my life. No, the
Yeah.
fuck you weren't. Like, you were gonna get him because you just have a hard on for trying to get this guy because, like,
He
does the
hurts
guy
somebody you
target
like.
queer people? Absolutely. Clearly has a vendetta against targeting only the queers, but also I don't think that's the reason he's going after him. I think he's going after him because he just has a lot of anger and he's picked that person because he can't physically assault Byron again.
Mm.
Which I think if they were in the same space, I think Tristan would be extremely abusive. Like,
Oh yeah.
imagine them existing outside of this situation, but still forced to be in like proximity. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know that like Tristan wouldn't be like hitting him. Like,
Mm.
Yeah. It's
and then claiming
very much.
self-defense. Like,
Yeah, exactly. It's the thing with, and obviously it opens with Byron trying to kill Tristan, but
understandable.
you feel like it's the buildup of years of grief
Yes.
and pain, right? Like it's very well written. It's one of my favorite interludes, I think, just in terms of how beautifully it's written. But you can
Yeah.
just feel Byron just like years of pain and grief and being second best and feeling like second best and second most important. And even, I mean, even later when his dad is like, "Oh, hey, Tristan, you want to get ice cream?" And
That
he's
ice
like,
cream, yep.
"Oh, Byron, do you want ice cream?" And he's like, "Yeah, it might be nice." And he's like, "Oh, well, me and Tristan used to do this after sports. Byron and I did other
Yeah.
things. Like we watched a
Yeah.
movie once." Yeah. Like, I'm like, "Oh my God."
Yeah. Jesus.
It's so, I don't know. And yeah.
I'm very curious because obviously, I know the arc's not over, and I'm imagining we're getting at least one more Capricorn.
Oh, I
interlude,
hope so.
given-
Oh, I hope
given
so.
the cliffhanger ending of the last one we got. It's fascinating because in present times, you get the sense that even now, if it's sort of been our understanding of their dynamic is shifted a bit, it's been 2 years and they've figured out how to work together a bit, right? They switch back and forth when fighting. There's some good
Yeah.
symmetry or synergy with their powers. So like, I'm really curious to see where how they get to where they are now, and if now is better than it was, or if they're really just like there's this or death. So I guess we'll just keep on
Yeah.
hating each other till the end of time, So
Yeah.
yeah, very interesting.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
because it's interesting too that they note Tristan's powers have changed a little, right? He went from metal to earth or to rock, I think, if I recall correctly. But
Mhm.
Byron has been in flux. His powers since the beginning, it seems like he was poison gas for a bit, and then he was ice, and then now he's
Yeah.
water. He's kind of more in flux, and I think that kind of speaks to their characters as well. Whereas Tristan has always been very solid in what he wants and who he is, even if that's a
Mm.
bad thing. Byron is
Yeah.
very much in flux of like, well, I'm just trying to survive. I'm just trying to fit in where I can. It's a very
Yeah.
symbolic pair of powers. I feel like they have, just of who they are in their relationship. Um, but man, oh, it hurts. It hurts.
Yeah. I was
It
telling
also
Alan this
confirmed.
earlier.
Oh, go ahead.
No, please, Jacob, go ahead. I've got a long thing, so please.
I was going to say it confirmed too. I don't know if they ever officially confirmed it before this, but that it's the person who's out has to consciously make the switch. It's not a
Yes.
it's not a joint decision. It's
Nope.
only
It's-
one. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking of it as a door with only a handle on one side. So you can,
Yeah,
if you're out, the handle is on your side, and you can choose to open the door, but the other person has, no control over opening the door at all. It's just a solid
Yeah.
surface.
And I think what's so interesting is that you have the person inside gets a limited feel for the sensations that the body is feeling, which is such
Yeah.
an interesting thing where they're like talking about eating, how eating is hard because the person on the inside doesn't get the taste of the food, but they feel the motions of chewing and swallowing.
Mhm.
Do they not get the taste of the food?
No, they don't get the taste though, I don't
No,
think.
I thought they
But they
said
have
that
all
there
their
was limited
senses.
They get the
tastes. but
taste? Okay.
Yeah, because he even talks about that they have different tastes in food.
Different tastes of food.
That's true, that's true. They have
Yeah.
different
But-
tastes.
Because you
But the
can
fact
feel
that-
and touch and smell.
But
But
it's
the fact
almost like
where the word
they're
masticating comes from.
Yeah.
Tristan just sits and chews the food for 5 fucking ever. And he's like, I don't like the feeling of just having food in my mouth constantly, Byron says.
Yeah.
And then, you know, like he finally swallows. And he's like, oh my God. And then he takes another bite and he's like, oh, this shit again?
Like this
I
again?
almost feel like it's like all the senses are equal though, right? Like when you're eating good food that you like, you don't really focus on the feeling of having the food in your mouth too much. It's like kind
Yeah.
of the combination of the senses. But if all of the senses were equal and texture was
Mm.
heightened to the level that like smell and I feel like I know for some people it is,
Yeah.
but like just
Oof.
the I don't know, like I get the sense that like all the feelings are equal in some weird way that make it more
Yeah.
uncomfortable than normal.
Yeah, you're outside of it.
Yeah. And then
observing
Byron
it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Byron mentions at one point that like even with the food, like even if he wanted to gag or throw up, like you can't because you don't have a physical body. It's not like you have a gag reflex. It's not that you have a stomach in which to
Yeah.
throw anything up. Like you're gagging, you're grossed out, but you can't. There's nothing's happening because you have no body in which to perform it in. And so like,
Yeah.
oh, that's just it's like the worst kind of limbo of like because you're not taking damage, but you're feeling the hits.
Yeah.
So like
It's a lot of
you
psychic
feel the
damage.
pain, but you're not taking it. Yeah, psychic damage. Yeah. No, but the what I was gonna say before, it's interesting to me because Al and I were kind of talking this through earlier, but I find myself not picking a side, I think so much because I relate a lot with Byron and I relate a lot with Tristan in both of those sides. Like the kind of extroverted party side of Tristan, like I absolutely get that. And I've 100% been there. Like that was me in high school. Like I wanted to get wrecked and make out with strangers and not feel anything because like there was so much else in my head that I just needed an escape of it, and which obviously is not a healthy thing to do, but it is how Tristan copes. And also in the sense of like Byron finding the comfort of, you know, routine, going to church, being with the family, connecting with Moon, like all of those things, and the quiet, more introverted side I also absolutely relate to. Like I'm way more introverted now than I ever used to be in my life, and it's hard for me to see, like I can see the villainy in both of them fairly easy because I see those same problems within myself, and so I think probably that's why I love Capricorn so much. Like they're, and like we said before, they clearly figured out a solution because the position that they're in currently in these interludes where they hate each other, and like Tristan even says at one point, like, I've never hated anybody until I hated Paris. And Byron's like, really? Because I hate you every day. And that's really interesting that like even in that space, I don't think Tristan now in these interludes thinks of Byron that much at all. Byron is an inconvenience to him at best. And like, and to Byron, Tristan is all encompassing, all, you know, he has to you know, rotate around, not rotate, what's the word? We go around the sun. Not rotating. Orbit. He orbits around Tristan because he has to, and like talking about Tristan stealing his friends and like, you know, I did it first, but then you did it and everyone called me the copycat. Like that is so, oh my gosh, that was heartbreaking.
Which is one thing. But then to have Tristan say, yeah, he's copying me, which is pointed out multiple times. Like, it's one thing to be like, oh, like I would be on like the one or the other side if it wasn't for the fact that Tristan's such a piece of shit and like talks about like just laying into him when it comes to making fun of Byron for like using very personal stuff, doing stuff that like he knows bothers him, like encouraging, antagonizing, like when it comes to the like copycat stuff. Like he's such a piece of shit.
Well,
Well, and then it's the like, and then he even tries to pull it on Byron in the interlude where he's like, "It's like what? So you hate me because I'm gay?" And he's like, "Dude, no!"
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Like, how
and
are
he's
you not? Ugh. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like the whole like, no, if anything, like I've been defending you from
Yeah.
people who you don't even know about because
Right.
I protected you from them, Tristan.
Yeah,
And
and
I'm
worse, he
sorry
did
that
know about
you're
some of
mommy's
them.
special little queer boy, but like, you know.
Yeah, the worst part
Yeah.
is he did know about some of the times he defended them, and then he'd like talks about like, yeah, like you did know, and then I'd show up, and then you'd make fun of me because like the other people would be like, oh, you're effeminate gay brother who can't do anything, and he'd like lay into it too, and he's like,
Yeah.
dude, I just defended you, and then you turned around and essentially made fun of me for like the same way that the bullies were making fun of you. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really low.
Here, pause, guys.
Yeah.
My
Really
audio's doing something weird. Give me 1 second.
Oh
Uh-oh.
no.
You can mark off tech issues.
Yeah, is that on the bingo?
It is.
We almost always have a very smooth stream. Oh, no, that's not what I meant.
You just jinx it.
Uh-huh. Also,
Okay. I think we're good.
Waldo asked
We're good? Okay.
which ones we've checked off. As far as I'm aware, we've got love for malfunctions, not understanding goddess's power, tech issues, Hannah's a Tristan stan, master is a verb, speculation on Chris before the theories part at the end, and fuck Amy.
Okay, I would like to point out that Hannah's a Tristan stan was probably added because Alan and I had a conversation this afternoon where I told him all of my thoughts about Tristan and Byron. So I would argue that that is should be
It's rigged,
removed
but
and added
it's
as
okay.
just a free
It's rigged.
space.
I mean,
It's
look,
rigged because Alan's a boob.
Look, if
got the
the,
power.
I was gonna call you a bitch, but I can't do that on a live podcast. Also, I like you.
But yeah, no. I just have all my notes are just Byron does literally so much for Tristan, and Tristan does literally nothing for him. Like Tristan
Well-
has the opportunity, much like how Byron will essentially, I don't mean in a romantic way, but like wingman him, like he has done his whole life. And Tristan, if he was a good person in any way, even just a decent brother, would be trying to include his brother in these groups. Like it would be justified for Byron to say, man, you're so good at everything. Everybody just kind of thinks of you as the older brother and everybody likes you more. That sucks. However, the way that Tristan's doing that is not only being better at everything, but also stepping on Byron to get there. Like, he doesn't even need to do it, and he chooses to do it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there is, people are talking about, and we'll get into all of the other stuff with Moonsong and Furcate in a second, but
Yeah.
he goes
can
over,
talk about that.
asks Furcate, like clocks right away with the gaydar, like, hey, what are your pronouns? And
Yep.
they're like, they, you know, and, you know, I think because of the power, she sometimes, like, cool, you know, go with that. I don't think that's him being nice. I think that's him finding an in with Furcate. I think that's all that is, because he's not a nice guy. He's just got charisma, and his goal is to make everybody like him. And that's just his in with Furcate in this case. Byron also, you know, is nice to Furcate, but like, I mean, I'll be honest, this is one of those things where just, you know what, we'll get into the Moonsong thing when we're done talking about how terrible Tristan is.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey.
I do want to ask, just as a practical aside for this, I understand how the PRT does what they do with the wards, because it's like, hey, we need a safe program to raise these kids in a proper way with teaching them, helping them become heroes. Like they're dealing with a lot of trauma. Let's help them out. How is this private company Reach justifying this child labor?
For real.
That's a good question.
The same way colleges did.
Yeah.
You make a good point. Yeah, I just thought that
Athletics
was funny.
Tristan.
I was thinking about it. I was like, yeah, I was thinking about it. I was like, wait, these are all high schoolers. Like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Reach is a private company.
Yeah.
What the hell?
It's a
So,
weird.
anyway,
Yeah.
it's a weird world. I guess it's like child actors in that there's like an industry
Yeah.
for child actors.
And there's also
Maybe they
like
have a guild. I don't know.
Yeah.
yeah, and there's clearly people like when they go and tour the facility, when they go and tour Reach, there's clearly people there that are set in to be, the watchful eye, the guiding hand, whatever. But clearly, there's also a ton of free movement, free space. These kids are just kind of like do what they want, like
Yeah.
like Tristan going to the party and getting fucked up. He's 15. Let's just reminder. Like, jeez Louise, that
With
where
way
are
too
your
much money.
parents? Like,
15 with way too much money because
way too much.
he hands
money.
that taxi driver like a cool $500 to get him some alcohol.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Goddamn.
Man, there is.
absolutely.
We talk about like Hannah relates to Tristan, and I
and Byron. Let's
and
just remember
Byron.
here. I
Okay.
said both.
I have
Hannah only relates to Tristan and no other
Yeah, yeah.
characters.
God
talking
damn
about
it.
Ward.
I have zero like sympathy for Byron, like Tristan, in terms of like the feeling of what they also, relating to them. He just anytime somebody talks about like essentially having to drink the dumb bitch juice to like forget about how life is, that is such an instant like non-starter for me. I just like, and that's him, the idea of like everything about Tristan is just such an antithetical to who I am. He is just the opposite of who I enjoy in people. And Byron's kind of like, I get it. Byron's kind of boring.
We didn't know each other in high school.
Like Byron's kind of boring, but like you can kind of work around that. You can't work around Tristan. Tristan is like fundamentally just terrible
I
to deal
disagree
with.
though. And I think that there's so much information that we
I've
still
ended
need to
relationships,
have
albeit short term, like making friends with people because they were like Tristan.
I will argue that there are some things that are like difficult to be around people when like all they want to do is drink. Like that's really tough for me because like I don't drink all that much anyways now, probably because I got it all out in my high school years. But like you know what? Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, maybe it's a queer thing. Maybe it's like you're queer and you're in high school and you're not allowed to like talk about being queer. Then you just drink a lot.
Yeah. And you know what? Maybe that's just an experience I didn't have. I had my own drinking with, experience with drinking in middle school and high school for very different reasons. But, it's just, it just rubs me. Everything he does rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah. Which I'm on the other hand, I'm like, I feel like I relate a bit more to Byron, especially at least with specifically the drinking thing. Like my first drink was when I was 21. Like I
I'm so proud.
I remember when Mike and I took
you were there. Yep, you were there.
The place.
I was there.
So yeah,
was
Michael was
also
there. A few
there.
other people. So I think I relate, especially being the younger brother. I definitely have some feelings relating to Byron. I'm a second-born. I'm a second-born and a middle child. I'm second of 4, so I'm like,
Wow.
not
I'm the oldest of mine, so
yeah. Yeah, it could be a firstborn thing,
a
Maybe.
firstborn and queer thing.
Firstborn queers.
The Venn diagram
There
is
you
getting
go.
smaller.
So let's,
We learned so much.
if we're done talking about how the Tristan Byron problem,
Oh, I could talk about the Tristan Byron problem for a whole episode.
let's adjust it slightly to talk about the Moon Song problem.
Yeah.
Oh, let's talk about Moon Song. Oh yeah, let's talk about Moon Song.
I liked her the moment Tristan was like, "No, we're a bit different. My brother and I share a body," and then she's like, "Well, let us fucking meet him, asshole."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did
I
like
was like,
that.
Yeah.
I like you. I like you.
What the hell?
I
I
am out.
don't like I don't like Moon Song at all. Not
I liked her
even
in that
a little
moment.
bit.
Other
Yes,
moments
she has
less so.
She
But
has some very clear moments that were like, ah, yes, good. This is the proper response in this scenario. Which, like, yeah, let him out. Let us fucking meet him. You mean he's been here this whole time? Yeah, let's meet the guy. That was the right move. Yes. And after church with the dad, where she's like, oh, you got ice cream with Tristan? What do you do with Byron? You know, like the eyebrow, like, like that was phenomenal. Loved that.
Yeah.
Everything else about her.
Which, like, what is there about her other than, like, let's just, we're gonna focus in on this interaction with her. We don't know her thoughts behind stuff. So what we have is her being a fantastic advocate for Byron. Like,
Yes.
every time she interacts with him, it's like, wow, she clocks what's wrong. She listens, she hears, you know, she even, and it's shitty of her for the initial being homophobic towards
that part
towards Tristan.
Major
Major problem there. However, the immediate follow-up is, does it mean this to you? Then I will change my behavior. Which, once again, we're staying in that moment with how she's interacting there. If that's how it is, that is how behavior is supposed to change. You go, hey, this is a thing. This means a lot to me. I would really appreciate if you don't do that. Okay, I won't do that thing. Like, that seems like a good thing to me. Obviously, we know that doesn't exactly pan out when we're talking about what we've seen her talk about in, Glowworm, where she continues.
Behavior actually works.
Yeah, once again. But what we see here is that she clocks that Tristan's an asshole, and maybe some of that comes from her bias. And you know what? I very much think for her it does. But also, we know that he weaponizes himself being gay. Like, he literally, she might be an asshole. This is the Amy moment where she is homophobic, but also somehow he's not wrong when it comes to specifically Tristan. Like, she's like, she clocked him for being that kind of person who does weaponize his being gayness as a thing to garner attention and sympathy and pity because he's an asshole. Like,
but even Byron shuts her down when she says that, and he is like his brother's biggest
right,
you know, not opposite of biggest fan. He shuts her down though when she's like, oh yeah, because I can't remember what she says exactly, but like, oh yeah, he's flaunting
the gay
gayness
thing
or whatever, the gay thing, and he shuts her down fast because she's wrong.
Yeah,
like
I do feel like that is performative for Moonsong. Is the one issue I see with it is where she's like, oh, that matters to you, okay, I won't do it. What she's not saying is, I won't do it around you,
but also I'm gonna think it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because later on
is better than anything Tristan's ever done.
Later on, Tristan mentions that he doesn't like how she, talked to I can't remember their name. Kay. Yeah, how she talked to Kay, and like that Byron didn't even notice. So like while I do think I do agree with you, Tristan can be a total asshole. A very self-centered individual for sure. I definitely think that maybe at the beginning befriended Kay because like he clocked something on the queer spectrum there, but like I do not think that was something that he was using like completely as in just for the group. Like maybe at the beginning, sure, as like a way to find some footing there and like build rapport. But the way that he mentally thinks about Moonsong and how Moonsong talks to Kay is very like protective and clearly doesn't like Moonsong, and neither do I.
I was gonna say, I think that's one of the things that, like, if I'm going to play complete devil's advocate, I still think is just him protecting himself and his in-group, where in this case, he doesn't like Moonsong because Moonsong doesn't like him. That's like, he clocks that straight away. And his defense of Furcate isn't defending Furcate. It's defending himself, which, in terms, fine. But
Yeah.
essentially, like, keeping Moonsong out. And this is the opposite thing. He is correct in saying, I don't like the way she's talking to her. However, I still think it's for very selfish reasons of, like, if Moonsong did anything, he would just be like, I can't believe, I hate when Moonsong sings in the shower.
Yeah.
Like, we can
Yeah.
fucking hear her. Like, how selfish is it for her to do this? And also, she's homophobic. Like,
I'm not so quick to judge Tristan in that way, just because we haven't seen his perspective hardly at all. We get like 2 sections where it's from Tristan's perspective, and we have a lot of Byron's interpretation of Tristan, but like not a lot of Tristan himself, which is why I'm not so quick to just throw him under the bus.
And here's another thing that I think solidifies this for me, is that you look at Tristan now, and especially when he's introduced himself, the habits that he talks about that he had, and how he literally just the interactions with him now versus before, and his relationship with his brother and before, it is still strained, but that it is a result of them just having fundamentally different personalities, as opposed to Tristan being a fundamentally bad person, which I think he is in these chapters. And later, granted, he's 2 years older, 2 years wiser, and a lot of therapy, better.
Yes.
He just is a different person. He has worked through all that. And I think this is a very complicated case of, like, I really do think narcissism and, like, everything's got to be about Tristan and him. This is one of those where, like, Moonsong, if we're playing numbers games, Moonsong's just a better person than him. But it's like, I don't know how you're playing, like, numbers morality there. Like, he's a complete asshole.
Yeah, I'm not comfortable with that line of thinking personally.
I think too, though, what's interesting is knowing
let's get Nick's and Jacob's thoughts, and move on from this.
Yeah, sorry, Alan and I've been like,
you guys have been arguing about this all day. We can tell.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, this is marriage therapy now with the
what?
podcast. No, I'm just kidding.
You know what it is? You know what it is?
Alan,
I think Tristan's a bottom. And
I
don't do bottoms.
Oh my god!
That's
I
what
knew
it
you were
is.
gonna say something.
Just don't do bottoms.
Don't abide them. Okay.
Don't abide bottoms.
Okay.
Yeah, can you mute him?
No, I was just gonna say, with Glowworm, we know that Tristan ordered the hit, and what it was for now was to keep him from overstepping his boundaries with Byron, because of how the extreme measures of what he does to fake Byron's death in 9Y. That occurs, I do notice that occurs after, I believe, chronologically in Glowworm, his conversation with Moonsong. Where
Glowworm.
What I mean is, like, in the Glowworm arc, we have Moonsong talking with Capricorn. And then there's a bit where Capricorn's like, hey, I want to hire you to get the memorabilia. And that's when he creates the hit. I think maybe it is that they're both just bad people, but Tristan is now aware of it, and I'm not so sure that Moonsong is aware of it. I think that's the difference, is that I can feel a bit more compassion for Tristan, knowing what we know now, solely because he does grow eventually. Moonsong appears to have not grown based on what we've seen of her thus far.
Oh yeah, Moonsong's a total bitch now. Like,
yeah. And I will say, I have a theory, and then I want to hear what Jacob's thinking. My theory, and maybe this is obvious, but my theory is that the murder charge that gets leveled at Tristan is for Byron's death.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
And that basically the circumstances being what they are of Byron's death, and how Tristan probably also goes off the deep end and parties a bit, just pretending like Byron doesn't exist, I imagine his teammates are going to be like, yeah, we're pretty sure that Tristan put himself in line of fire and then switched into Byron, so Byron would die at the last second. And the only way to unprove that eventually he gets so cornered, the only way he can prove that he didn't kill Byron is by showing, no, I've just been keeping him inside this whole time. That's going to be my guess as to the murder charge, is that he killed his own brother. It's my theory.
And that gives us a bingo from Wonderland
Oh.
with a fuck Amy, disagreement on Tristan Byron issue, tech issues, and Alan rants.
Yeah,
you got all those in like the last half hour.
Yeah. Well, Jacob, any thoughts on
I mean,
this?
yeah, I mean, you guys said most of it. I think I look at in contrast to Hannah, Capricorn's probably my least favorite character of the group, just in terms of character dynamics. And it's just a lot simpler to me that Tristan's just a narcissist. It's just pure narcissism. He's a young narcissist. Narcissists aren't mean for the sake of being mean. They only care about themselves. That's all that matters. And Nick, I think I wasn't thinking about the murder charge. I think that makes a lot of sense, but I definitely think that we're going to see probably Tristan's POV in another interlude here, and it's going to be the crash of that narcissism going too far, especially as a teenager. So it's, there's so many comparisons with these. What makes Worm great is like we get these characters that are so similar to other fictional characters representations, but Wildbow does such a good job of just making them unique in their own way. And like the big show this year, Severance, right? So there's so much similarity between like the innie and the outie, and this dual identity within a single person. Especially when the moment and I think it was Point Y where they're swapping and having a conversation with each other, right?
Yeah.
And there's no spoilers for Severance, but there's a moment like that.
And that gives me a double bingo for Jacob compares something to a TV movie.
This is like my third comparison. I talked about X-Men earlier. But anyway, I love this so much. There's such a fun storytelling dynamic, and this what I think makes Tristan and Byron interesting is because in terms of realism, we have some pretty similar real life examples with conjoined twins, right? And they're not hidden from one another, right? But like sharing a body with someone is something that few people have to experience, and like a lot of the public examples of conjoined twins are success stories. There's like, I can think of a couple that come to mind that are sort of more famous, but like have learned to work together and walk in unison and talk in unison. We don't really understandably hear about any bad stories with that, and it makes me think about Capricorn in the sense that like, oh God, there probably are a pair of conjoined twins out there that don't like each other, and that's gotta just be absolutely horrific. I can't imagine that. But I'm really curious what becomes. I think Nick's probably onto something there with the death charge. That makes a lot of sense. I like that angle a lot.
Yeah. Because I feel like
I was just gonna say I initially thought it was gonna be Paris, because I was also waiting for the murder charge.
I could see it being Paris too.
Yeah, but I think the death of Byron is interesting. More interesting thematically.
It is more interesting thematically, and I feel like I'm grasping at straws with it, maybe, but I feel like, people have mentioned, oh, you're not the only one to have killed people in your group. Like Sveta has killed people, but other people have killed people. But I feel like and maybe I'm conflating Worm and Ward now. I can't remember. But I feel like it's going to be the surprising one, right? Where it's like, no, Tristan was charged with murder, but I feel like that's all they've said about him was like he was charged with murder. not
Yeah, he
Tristan killed
committed
people,
murder.
right?
Although there've been some statements, haven't there, that Byron, earlier in this
That's what I'm
arc,
trying to
when
remember.
Byron and Vicky are together with the major malfunctions, there's a comment made about, like, I think you and I are the only ones, or something like he makes. I thought he made. I might have to go hunt it down, see if I can find it.
Yeah.
They mentioned it on the television interview and a couple other places.
But again, I
No,
feel
no,
like
no.
it's always mentioned in like court terms of like the murder charge.
Gotcha.
It maybe
Right.
maybe
Right.
I'm misremembering, but I feel like it's mentioned in not like you killed a person terms, but like
No,
Right.
I
court
mean
terms.
I mean more of like in terms of Byron talking to Victoria. I'm basically saying that, like, the difference between my brother and me is that he's killed people and I haven't. And that idea of, like, if it was himself, would he say something like that? I'm trying to find it because
I
I
don't
remember
remember
reading it.
that.
I'm pretty sure it's in this arc. Let me see if I can find it.
Okay.
I'm gonna hunt for it.
If you can.
I don't know if I'll be
While
able to.
Hannah
but
looks
I'll
for
see.
that,
like, yeah, that he's attempted to kill people, which like
Maybe
that
so.
would
Maybe
that
that's
would make
what it
sense
is.
because Byron attempted to kill his brother at the literal beginning, and then his brother
Right,
literally attempted to
absolutely.
kill him to get him off of him. So like,
Yeah, I might be
Like-
remembering incorrectly, but let me see if I can find it.
while you're looking that up, I'll quickly go over because Fran has made several good points. Asking like, why is Tristan wanting to capture a guy that does hate crimes against his community actually him being selfish? I believe that you can do good things and also be selfish doing them. I don't think
Yeah,
those are
I agree
mutually
with that.
exclusive. In fact, I would
Yeah.
argue that most people do the right thing for very selfish reasons, and that's okay. But in this case, I think overall he is a selfish person, and that like bleeds out of just him doing good things. Like it's not like he's not just doing good things for other people's sakes. On top of that, it is a weird fascination, and I don't know that he's not doing it for a like, oh yeah, they're specifically just targeting my group, or that it like, to me, it almost feels like he's picked him with him attacking his community being the cover, just like a couple of the other things he does is a cover for like what he's actually there for. Like, oh man, I just wanted to make Nate feel real good. You know, I could be by his bed or suck his dick. Like, it's like, well, we know why you were there. You were there because you wanted to suck his dick. Like, don't pretend that somehow it was more than that all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Let's also clarify that Alan does not condone the bigotry, because
Correct.
that
getting
is
to
Yeah.
those
Oh
parts.
my
So
God.
we're
Yeah.
going-
No.
we're gonna
Let's
go
be
through
very
all
clear with
those parts.
that.
we need to get to that quickly,
and-
because that's
yeah,
a big,
yeah.
Yeah.
big deal.
Yeah.
Many points
No.
here. The other parts, how is Moonsong advocating for Byron good, but Tristan advocating for Kate selfish? Once again, I think that falls in it can be selfish and it can also be good. And since most of this is centered around Byron and Tristan, I do think that Moonsong's advocating for Byron probably is selfish after the initial run. Like, hey, let him out. You know, she is a bit of a dickhead, because I wouldn't just say, and maybe tone is maybe a bit lost in there. Like, hey, you asshole, let him out. She's kind of a bitch regardless. She is both selfish because she's advocating for the guy she likes, and also it's good to advocate for Byron. So both of those things are true and good and also selfish all at the same time. And then there was a third point. Not liking Tristan because asshole inconsiderate by hating on him. The point that's excuse for bigot is crazy. Yeah, here's the thing. I don't condone the bigotry, and I don't even like Moonsong. And it is revealed later on, and then, that she is a bigot in that moment, and she does not fix her actions or attitude in any way, shape, or form later on. Some of the beauty of this and what I like about characters most is how they change. And one of the things that I love about people is like somebody can be a terrible individual, and if they make steps to be a better person, that is like a wonderful, like, that clicks something for me.
Yeah.
So
And I think it goes to be said, like,
yeah.
kind of like what we were saying earlier, Alan, to the point of the bigotry of like Moonsong not being a bigot towards Tristan is not because she's changed her mind about how she feels about gay people. It's because she likes Byron. And as a result, when she no longer has that, she is still a bigot. And I think
Mm-hmm.
that that's kind of what we're talking about, right? Is like, whereas with Tristan, he is selfish, but eventually he learns, hey, I have fucked up. I need to change. Um, and again, it's, you know, the they're both bad people and both are bad for very different reasons.
Yeah.
The unfortunate thing is Moonsong doesn't grow out of it.
Yeah.
Um, in
Yeah.
spite
And
of meeting Furcate, Tristan, and all
yeah,
sorts of things.
right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's so much to be said for like talking about this in the interludes versus in the bigger story. Because in the bigger story, obviously Tristan, like I almost feel like I'm talking about a different Tristan because I am.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Like
He's changed so
I
much.
didn't even realize I was thinking about that now. But like Tristan is, I don't dislike him as Tristan now. Like he's Tristan. Like I also Byron is kind of boring because he doesn't do anything. Like they're just
Yeah.
all that but he's like that character that I just don't kind of care for is leaps and bounds a better person. Like, oh my god, a better person. And that's cool.
Yeah.
Especially now
Yeah.
that we know this. Like future guy, cool. Old Tristan, terrible.
Yeah.
Future Moon, god awful. Literally hasn't changed. Old
Mhm.
Moon, we don't know necessarily what's going, like we know that she's bigoted. But we also don't know that she doesn't make steps until it's revealed. We assume probably, further on in, maybe in the next arc, but at the very least, all the way to here that things have not changed. So,
Yeah.
and an example Bernard brings up, and thank you for bringing it up, Precipice/Rain. Rain was a terrible individual in a really awful situation, much like our boys, and makes steps to not do that anymore. And
Yeah.
it's something about taking steps forward that does it for me. That like we see no willingness to like change on Tristan's behalf. Like he literally has to get like blackmailed by his brother half the time to make any sort of concession. And my excuse for Moonsong is Byron asks her not to do something and she doesn't do it. She says, I'm not going to do that. And that is a baby step compared to Tristan's literally backpedaling in the other direction because he would
And
never do anything Byron wants.
I could see a world in which if Tristan had not been such a toxic person, that being around Tristan could have helped Moonsong overcome her biases. However, it's one of those things where like
Yeah.
it's the worst case scenario where you have somebody who feels like those biases are confirmed. It's
Yeah.
it's not because of Tristan's sexuality that he behaves the way he does, but when it happens to somebody with biases, they're going to assume things, right?
Yeah.
And you kind of have that similarly with like racism and things against immigrants and stuff like that. It's like, well, yeah, like when somebody believes they've had their biases confirmed, it just makes them a worse person. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, that seems to be the case with Moonsong. But yeah,
Fran pointed out,
obviously, yeah, the bigotry towards the LGBT community is not something that we
No,
would
and I want to
excuse.
Oh my
thank
God.
Fran for
Yeah.
asking all those questions so we could give a chance
Yes.
to clarify. 'Cause
Phenomenal.
not
and Fran
at
pointing
all
out at the end
trying to-
here, this is
do
just
that.
one of the many discourses and heated debates that happened during Ward. Wildbow almost quit writing because it got so bad.
Really.
Oof.
Dang.
That's
That's
I
unfortunate.
yeah.
I think-
Anytime I hear about Wildbow quitting because of the debates that went on with this, because if we're thinking about this from a writing aspect, this isn't bad writing. It's not even like
No.
I don't know.
What?
Like
You started that sentence weird. The
it's
writing
not
is
bad
fucking
writing.
phenomenal.
It's not bad writing, and it's not even like it's directed bad writing, like directing towards like, oh, Tristan is terrible because he's gay. Like, it's not gay
Yeah.
bashing. It's
No, not at all.
it's people
complex.
and
Yeah,
it's complex.
absolutely.
And just
Yeah.
because you write the perspective of one character doesn't mean you believe the perspective of one character. Like,
Yeah.
Wait, hang on, Alan. Are you saying that people on the internet have strong and divisive opinions,
look,
and
as a
that
person on the
those
internet,
strong divisive opinions have no nuance to them whatsoever, and indeed are hurtful to the very thing that they care about?
damn,
I can't believe it.
What?
I don't know how that would possibly happen.
I think it's a testament to Wildbow's writing and the stories and the complex characters that he creates that inspired us to do this podcast in the first place. Like, it's what we love so much about Worm and what we love so much about Ward. And like, I mean, I'll be honest, I like being able to sit here and talk to you guys about this stuff. And like, I know Alan and I don't agree on Tristan, and that's fine because it's a made up character and we're both happy to be here. And also,
Yeah, it's
we
not
kind of like
necessary, yeah.
love to fight about books a lot.
Yeah.
I will say the Tristan Byron problem, as we'll call it, is one of those things that does live in my head. As
Oh.
a to compare to situations when I think about just interacting with people in my life. Like, it's such a thinking about people dealing with really tough situations that you kind of can't resolve. The Byron Tristan problem is one of those.
Yeah.
Well.
Truitt points out a really good problem. Good writing should make these kinds of arguments, but when it's in serial format with instant responding readers, it can stress out the writer in a terrible way. And it
Absolutely.
also,
Yeah.
I mean, you could also, I mean, much like just having sentences, you can do a first, post with the chapter and it potentially be like, slanted in some way that's bad. And then the second chapter is like, okay, but that's a bad thing. And we all know that. And if without that clarification that you've got to wait for like, 3 days. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, very true.
I know
Very true.
Ward was really, really bad, as many people are pointing out. And I know there was, I remember reading a thing after Ward finished that he wrote. And man, I didn't, because I didn't interact with the community at all. I did not realize Ward was so divisive until after the fact. And all the different things that people took issue with, and just talking about how stressed out it made Wildbow that he really hated writing Ward and kind of scrubbed Worm and Ward from his mind because he
It's
just
really sad.
doesn't want to do anything else there.
I can
Yeah, it
imagine
makes sense.
the instant feedback of a web serial
Oh my
where
God.
you can't help but even if you try your best to like not listen to what other people think, you can't help but take their input and maybe think, well, maybe I should write more towards that, or well, maybe I shouldn't do that, or oh dang it, they predicted what's going to happen. Do I do that now or do I change it? Like
Yeah.
you just that constant ebb and flow is just really quite difficult. If I were to ever
Yeah,
do
I
a
mean,
web
I couldn't
serial,
do
I'd
it.
probably write it all first and then publish it chapter by chapter.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Just so that
I
way
mean, it's hard
I'd be
enough
like,
for me
I
to
already
read
wrote it.
2
I'm
million
not changing
words
it.
down and then
Yeah. Exactly.
And the internet
Exactly.
can be so fickle and so cruel at times. And like, I mean, like we've joked on this podcast before of like, Wildbow, if you're listening, like he's not listening to this podcast. Like he got stressed out writing Ward. Like he's not listening to us hash through it and talk about what we like and dislike. He's not listening to this. Although,
But if you
did.
if you are, please get in
Wow.
touch. We'd love to
consider
talk.
joining
Yeah.
the Patreon.
Yeah. One last thing I'll talk about, and then we can move to our final questions and get out of here because we've run late.
Yeah, we have run late.
Often times going through all this, we often forget that this was written in a serial week to week. And I have to remind myself with specific points how that impacts the story.
Mhm.
Man, I just that is a big deal when it comes to format of a media, that like the way it's put out matters. So favorite powers.
Oddly, didn't get a ton of like new powers, despite a lot of action in these chapters.
Probably got the whole new team of Reach's team, because like I
We
really
got
liked
to
the girl
see-
with the
yeah, you're right.
hair.
True.
Her
Yeah, we got to see
cool
Reach.
hair whipping powers and stuff. That was
Hold
cool.
on, not
Really like that.
Coiffure. Not
The
Coiffure.
flame
Coiffure.
person, right?
Coiffure.
Coiffure.
If you're
The
the
main
one
new
with the
ones
hair,
were Purple Flames, Nameless
Yeah, that
Purple
one.
Yep.
Flames,
the
Purple
pharmacist.
Flames.
Goddess.
That'd be
Pharmacist.
my pick.
Yep.
Prison Pharmacist,
Yeah.
Goddess.
Really cool.
We had Coiffure, we had Furcate, we had a bit more about Finale.
Definitely.
We had Paris, Tribute, and Figurehead.
Yeah, figurehead.
Which
Ooh.
am I interpreting Figurehead's power right? He's really powerful against you if he's never met you. Is that
I think
his
there's
power?
he's got a couple powers there, but that's definitely
Multifaceted?
one of them.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Yeah, I'm trying to. It's like the opposite of knowing your enemy, right? Because
Yeah.
there's like the power of like I fight you once and I know what you do. That's Taskmaster, right? He can memorize things instantly. Where he's like, oh, if I fight you once, then I know every move you'll ever do and I can beat you. This is the opposite of that. Of like, I don't know you. I can beat you no matter what. Which I think is funny. Yeah, I think
Yeah, we got the major malfunctions. We got to see them in action.
yeah.
Yeah.
Major malfunctions were cool. Not too many like impressive powers, I would say. I think Paris's is kind of interesting.
Paris is actually. I didn't
reminds me a
think
bit of
about it
Foil.
until this time because
Flechette.
I was just assumed Paris was named after like the city for some reason, and I was missing something. But
Yeah.
this time, especially given the bigotry that we've been talking
Paris.
about, Paris.
Is it?
I think he's named after Paris from Greek. I was gonna say Greek mythology, but the Trojan Wars, because
Oh.
he's wearing like the spade-shaped stuff, and he's like throwing darts, and
Right.
and I'm like, oh. And Paris specifically is the guy who kills, gay icon Achilles. And I was like,
Oh shit!
His whole like, that's not just something he does for fun on the side, being like a specifically targeting the queer community. That's what he's named after. Like that's a difference.
That could be a difference. Yeah.
There's something
Not
to be
me
said to doing it
thinking-
as a hobby, but for you to name yourself,
Yeah.
What?
Well, Paris in mythology as well, Paris is famously a fantastic archer as well. So there could be that with the, piercing the Achilles tendon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's yeah. I did not
Paris-
realize that until this time around.
I totally assumed Paris, like from Romeo and Juliet, but like,
And what
Paris
does
and
Paris
Romeo
even
and
do in
Juliet's
that one?
probably. I mean,
Die.
Die. I'm gonna go with
Tybalt,
die.
is it
It's Shakespeare.
Tybalt that dies, or is it Paris
Tybalt
that
also
dies?
dies.
Like,
I think they all
Tybalt
die.
both die. Everyone
A lot
dies.
of people
Everybody,
die.
but
It's Romeo and
what,
Juliet.
The priest that gives her the roofie is like the only person that doesn't, right?
Her nurse
Yeah, there you
who
go.
helps her.
No, in terms of new powers, I like the idea of Finale's power where she's kind of building up to the grand finale with hers.
Yeah.
And also just the like pew
Fun.
pew 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 pew. It's just really
Yeah.
funny. So she's probably my favorite there.
Furcate always fascinated me, just because of the
I
like.
don't think I know what their power is.
There's like 3 alternate versions of themselves.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's
Potentially
right. That's
4.
right.
If they push
Yeah,
themselves.
potentially 4.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's right. That's right.
But
I
they
like the term bifurcate.
yeah. Yeah, so they can just split their body, it seems like. They don't really maybe some slightly enhanced physical abilities, but not Tristan says when they hit, or Byron says when they hit, it's not with like enhanced strength or anything. It's just their normal strength. So they can split their bodies to cover more ground, but that's about it. And
Yeah.
then I guess they do like some rock paper scissors game to figure who gets to be the
Yeah.
remaining one.
Yeah.
So they're funny. It's an
Yeah.
interesting one.
It's like they get to have the Byron Tristan power,
It's
but fun.
it's the shadow clone jutsu from Naruto.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not as effective as that.
There's
but,
something with,
pretty good.
is it Tinker stuff? Because they've got like
They've got
claws
claws
on
and things. I think
one
it's
and
Tinker
like,
stuff. Yeah.
but they're like, each one has a different thing. So when
Yeah,
they split,
yeah.
it's like, oh, you've got the superpowered boots. And
Yeah.
yeah. So really like Furcate.
Any change to who's the most worrisome?
Nah.
No,
Never.
Probably doubling down at this point.
I figured.
Alrighty.
Victoria.
Yeah. I
Yep.
mean, I still
Well,
think Chris is a problem.
I mean,
So.
yeah, we're still waiting on Chris's interludes. Hopefully soon.
Yeah, I'm still hanging my hat on the Chris on Chris.
on a very late note,
I was
Thank
gonna
you
say,
all for
Anna's a
watching.
sleepy sheepy.
I'm a sleepy, always have been, but and I know Michael has been dead staring in the screen straight into my soul for me to shut the fuck up for a while. So with that, our lovely watchers, thank you so much. Our listeners, thank you so
No,
much.
for real.
I will read off the thing. We got love for major malfunctions, disagreement on mood song, not understanding goddess's power, tech issues, Alan rants, Hannah's a Tristan stan, master as a verb, Michael has to reel them in, speculation on Chris before the theories at the end, fuck Amy, Jacob compares something to TV in a movie, and disagreement on Tristan Byron. We got a double bingo from Wonderland, and I've got myself a quadruple bingo playing this right now. What we missed were, of course, Nick goes full teacher, interludes are goated, which I think should be a given, which gives me
We're
another
close.
Yeah,
bingo.
no, absolutely goated. Yes, I
Cat
feel
on
like I
camera,
said that.
which
I don't think
No,
there's
I
a
don't think
there's a
we've had
cat
one.
oh, he's asleep in the thing next to me, down on the floor. Okay,
Closest
Classic
we got was
Bedford.
you on your hands and knees, but
right,
Yeah.
and
That was true.
That's just for the fans, and you could see that if you were a patron. Well, zoom and enhance.
Yeah, exactly.
And finally, of course, the one that everybody was waiting for, Hannah cries, which she did not. So
I
True.
didn't. That's correct.
So
there's
really,
too much anger.
After
This one.
It was
after
a
we
lot
turn
of
the cameras
anger.
off.
It was a lot of anger. I did get a little misty-eyed while reading. It was specifically, it was a random spot that I just kind of got a little choked up in when Victoria was thinking about Dean, I think. Which we didn't talk about at all. But
She'd think about
yeah,
him
no.
every arc. She'll think about him next arc too.
yeah.
You know, she will, and we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
All right. But in 2 weeks,
14th.
2 weeks, 14th,
14th.
we will be reading,
Woof! The
Be
14th?
finishing.
I believe, 9.10 to the end of arc 9, which is, I think, like another 9 chapters.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it's a
It
big
is.
one.
It is equal amounts. I believe it is another. I think it's another
8.
70,000.
8.
It's
8 more chapters.
yeah, 10 through 9.I.
So
Get
good
reading.
times, good times. Thank you so much, Michael. Do you have a song?
A song?
I sure do.
I think I've got a song coming on.
Join the Patreon, please come on and join the Patreon. Why don't you just join the Patreon? Come support us and join the Patreon. Please help us and join the Patreon. We have fun, join the Patreon. It's great, yeah, join the Patreon. Why don't you just join the Patreon? Come on, come on.
You'll never forget your first time as a patron.
Hey, you guys are the best. Thanks for all the amazing comments tonight. This was really a lot of fun, and you guys
Those
are
are
always
really-
the best.
Right.
But yeah, it was a great
you guys
night
make
for
this
comments. Thanks for engaging
fun.
so much, and we will see you in 2 weeks on the 14th. Thanks for
Love
a
you
great
guys.